Season 1, Episode 1. Ever since I was a little kid, I taught myself how to catch fish from the ocean. Well, I started fishing on the beach, but I taught myself how to fish and how to hunt. And about 3 years ago, I started planting plants. And also, I got my very first bees. There's a beehive there, there's another beehive there. I love catching my own food or growing it. And I also love bartering for food. So let's say I catch a bunch of fish and I got a buddy up north that shot a big buck or an elk or something. I will send him fish for that red meat. In this new series that I'm doing here on the South Florida Fishing Channel, every Friday we're putting out a new episode, and this is 2025, so this is season 1. Probably gonna have about 30 episodes this season, and the goal is to become fully self-sufficient at this house. Everything from solar panels to power the house, getting my own water, maybe converting salt water, getting all my own honey, catching all my own food, growing all my own food. I just spent $1,500 on some new plants, which we're about to put in the ground, and on more beehives. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got like 5 or 6 beehives on the way. We're not just gonna try to grow our own food, we're gonna try to flourish. We're gonna try to make some money while we're doing this too. I mean, something's gotta put gas in my boat, right? We're currently in early March, and this is a beautiful time in Florida because it's still kind of cool out, breezy, windy, and all the plants are starting to bloom. This is my lime tree, and there's a bunch. Look at all these baby limes. We also have the lemon tree, which is starting to flower. I think 2 days ago it started to flower. So we're gonna have lemons and limes. And then I got all these berry plants, which they're doing like medium. If I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, I've killed probably over $2,000 worth of plants in the last couple years, but I'm making a comeback. Look, we got some real peppers growing. This is a cayenne pepper, and look at that sucker. I mean, we're growing them, but I am having some issues with white flies. So these leaves, wait. Yeah, look at this leaf. It's got this like white powder on it. Those are white fly, I think. It's some kind of pest, and it decimated my habanero plant. It hurt my jalapeno plant. I'm trying to battle it. If you got any ideas, let me know. I've been spraying alcohol on them, and it seems to kill them, but then they come back. Here's what I'm thinking. Once a week, I'm gonna do like a full update about everything I got going on. Like, I got chickens down there, right? Trying to grow my own chickens. No, grow my own eggs. These are my chickens. I got 3 of them, and I will be putting out a video this season. It's gonna be one of the episodes, but it's gonna be start to finish. Everything from me getting my first chicken coop. I've never owned chickens, but got the coop, got the chickens, and it's my whole journey from never having a chicken to having my first egg. So that's an upcoming episode, but they haven't laid an egg yet, but I'm working on it, and I'm starting to understand how these creatures work. I got a whole bunch of wood out because in that corner, I am building my own compost, like a compost area. There's a papaya tree that I planted, and unfortunately the chickens are just decimating and eating my papaya plant, but hopefully it'll grow big soon and they won't be able to reach it. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I have another papaya plant on this side, and this one's even worse. They didn't even leave a leaf on that branch. They just ate the whole damn thing. There it goes, eating the papaya plant, caught red-handed. Look what you've done, bad little chicken. But this is going to be the compost bin. And you see I dug these 2 holes. We're gonna be putting in-ground bins in there that I'm gonna put food in, and the worms are gonna be able to come up into these bins. They're basically in-ground worm composting farms. So that's one project. And during these updates, I'm always gonna show you guys the progress of everything. And then we're gonna have full videos, like the start to finish videos. So every other upload will probably be an update, and then Every other upload will be a full start to finish video where I'm trying to teach you guys everything that I'm learning through all my mistakes. And I make a lot of mistakes, but I'm starting to perfect a few things like my soil. I have found the perfect soil recipe for growing anything. It's basically a combination of peat moss, some kind of topsoil, then an aeration like pumice or rocks, and then some organic fertilizer, which we're gonna be making in that compost. It's good. It's the perfect soil. I have grown huge plants in it, and I have grown tiny plants in other soil. So that's gonna be its own video, the perfect soil. See these chickens? They like to dig holes and they kick up my soil everywhere. This is one of my beehives, and this is gonna be project number 2 or 3. We're gonna be moving all of my beehives to this corner. We're gonna remove the paddle boards, remove all this, maybe put something up here, and we're gonna have a bunch of beehives making a bunch of honey. And that right there is a big pepper tree. We're gonna cut that down. It's actually on my neighbor's property, but he already gave me the green light. I can chop it down. Pepper trees are invasive species. It's an invasive tree, and they have these little red peppers. See those little peppers on there? If you rub them, yeah, it smells just like pepper. Oh, here's a bunch. Look at all those. We do not like these trees. It's basically a weed that turns into a tree, and it grows bigger than everything else. Like this is a mangrove tree right here, and it grew above it, and now this tree is dying because it doesn't get any sun. So these pepper trees are no good. So that tree is gonna get cut down. There's another one there that's gonna get cut down. And this is gonna become the bee sanctuary, where we're gonna be making honey, and all the honey comes from all of these mangroves. It's gonna be Florida Keys mangrove honey, a premium product. We live in a state park surrounded by mangrove trees. So it's gonna be premium, organic, awesome honey. And I'm not gonna just spin the honey. I will also press the honey. So in the honey, you get all the pollens, a lot of extra good stuff versus just honey that is spun. I'm really excited about my honey farm. And this right here is my original hive. These bees are the most gentle bees ever. And I will be extracting some queens from this hive and making new hives. I have never been bit by these bees, ever. And I've had them for 3 years. And in the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing, and they were still patient enough with me to where they didn't bite me, even though I made some mistakes, and I still have them, and they're beautiful. And I actually caught this hive with my buddy Alec, and it was a wild bee swarm, but they're so sweet. I call them the Florida Keys sweetheart. So if you want a queen, let me know. I'll probably start selling the Florida Keys sweetheart. Yeah, so I'm gonna start raising some queens. We're gonna have some new hives getting set up. I have a plastic hive. So this is a wooden hive. I have a couple of wooden ones coming, and then I got a plastic one. They're way more expensive, but I'm curious how the plastic one. So I'll have a video that's gonna be like a wooden hive versus a plastic hive. Just so much exciting stuff. There's the old Range Rover, which isn't as exciting as anything else. I'm actually getting rid of her. So she was good to me though, but now she's got to go. We're making room. So can we turn this property into a fully self-sustaining property? How many seasons is it going to take? Are we going to have it done by season 2, 2026, maybe 2027? I'm hoping by season like 3 or 4, we're going to be fully sustainable. So every year we're going to be going closer and closer to the all goodness. These two are my new orange trees. This one is what is that? An Orlando Tangelo. And this one is a Vernia orange. So we got different types of orange trees. This is a lemon tree. This is the very variegated lemon. And then I have a different lemon tree up there. So we're gonna be comparing the taste of these different oranges and lemons to find our very favorite. And I can't wait to grow some bananas too. These are the ice cream sundae blue Java bananas. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I have another banana tree right there we're gonna bring down here. And those I will be planting along that line right there. And that is why I have to move that beehive. Because these bees are in the way. I want this to all be a wall of banana trees. And these bees are gonna go over there. So I'll probably be moving those later this week, maybe tomorrow. I got a truck full of cinder blocks. And this is what the beehives are gonna be sitting on top of. So I got a whole bunch of cinder blocks, more peat moss. We'll be building our little beehive area right there in the back. Kind of out of the way. Some people don't like seeing bees everywhere. So they'll be discreet. You wouldn't even know that I had bees. Another fun project is, you know, when you have access to the ocean, you basically have access to unlimited supplies of everything. This right here is some seaweed that I collected and I've dried out. So it's just dried seaweed. This is still kind of moist. I collected this maybe a week ago. This is like a month old. This is a week old. Just letting it dry out. This right here is fertilizer gold. Why ever buy fertilizer and all this stuff when you can just make it all right here? Making fertilizer out of seaweed is gonna be its own video, but if you got a boat or if you're near a beach, you have unlimited seaweed access to fertilize and grow the biggest damn plants you've ever seen. I also have these cool tubes. It's my own little invention that I'm gonna be sticking in each plant where you can put fish, like fish carcasses, a fish head and other stuff in it. And it's like a time release feeder in your plants that you only have to put like a fish head in every few months and that's it. And you're gonna grow huge fruits, big fat juicy fruits. Oh, my chickens are running. I read that when they run around like that means they're super happy. You guys happy? You guys see your reflection? We're not just trying to survive, we're trying to thrive, baby. The whole point of this is to have a good time, to bring some awareness to thinking a little more sustainably, be a little more aware of what you're putting inside your body, stay a little more connected with Mother Nature, you know, the circle of life, having chickens, growing plants, catching your own food, hunting your own food. All these things bring a peace that only fishermen and hunters and farmers and gatherers really understand. It's not that city life shit. This is kind of living more in the moment. That's what we're trying to do. It took me almost 2 years since I've planted the top of that pineapple head for it to turn into that and finally start growing a pineapple. So every Friday now, I don't know what I'm gonna call it, what, Farming Friday, even though it's not really just farming. But every Friday there's gonna be a new episode, which is more like behind the scenes at the South Florida Fishing Channel, our journey to becoming fully sustainable, all the random stuff we learn along the way. And then of course we have our fishing, catch and cook videos, which is mainly what this channel is about after all. But if you think the farming stuff's gonna be fun, I hope you stick around. Otherwise, just skip the Friday uploads and watch the fishing videos. I will say though, I cannot wait to start using these fruits and herbs in the cooking episodes of the fish we're gonna be catching. And if you wanna do any bartering, let me know. If you got any tips, suggestions, what do you wanna watch? Leave comments. I'm really gonna be reading the comments on these Friday episodes and we will see where this journey brings us. I'll see you guys next Friday. We'll see how far we get along with all this. Maybe I'll have the bananas in by then. Maybe I'll have my first egg by then. Maybe the bees will be set up by then. There's a lot of maybes going on here. We definitely won't have the solar panel roof by then because that is expensive. All right, catch you on the next episode. Peace. Today is an exciting day because I'm going to open up both of my beehives and the goal is to split the beehives, find another queen, and turn this one beehive into 2 beehives. I'll be completely honest, I have not opened this hive in a long time. It might be full of honey, it might not be, it might be a little messed up. I just had so many things happen that I haven't got around to it, but I am finally going to start treating my bees right. I have a new home for them here, and we're gonna be setting up all the bees. Right here, here's a nuke, basically a starter hive. It only has 5 frames in it. So what I would do is I will take some frames from that hive. The Florida Keys sweetheart queen lives in there, and hopefully they have a couple of frames with new queens that I can put into this nuke box, this smaller one. And in theory, what should happen is the new queen will start laying eggs in here and it'll become its own colony if everything goes to plan. But I've never split a hive and turned one hive into 2, so we're gonna do this together. And for some reason, this hive over here is going absolutely crazy right now. I don't know if you can see this, but the bees are going freaking nuts, which is scaring me because that might mean they're about to swarm, which means it's overcrowded in there. There's not enough space for all the bees, and half of the bees will leave with a queen and just leave. I don't want my hives to swarm. What we want to do is, before that happens, is we want to take half of the bees and put them into a nuke box like this one with a new queen, and that way now I have 2. I'll have 2 hives instead of just 1. I have not named my chickens, so what should I name? What should I name the white chicken? These are my banana trees that I mentioned in the last video, and I will be planting them in a row here to create a wall between me and my neighbor of banana trees. It's gonna be beautiful. It's a wall that grows fruits. I'll have tons of bananas, and whatever I don't eat, the chickens will definitely eat. So it's a win-win. Check out what just arrived in the mailbox. I'm so excited to show this to you guys. It's gonna be a future video and a project that I'm excited for. There we go. This right here is the plastic thermo beehive. The package looks a little rough, but essentially what this is, it is a plastic beehive. So the ones I got over here, those are wooden ones, but that is a plastic one. It costs twice as much, almost 3 times as much as a wooden one, but it's supposed to last basically forever. And the insulation on the plastic one is supposed to be better. So in really cold or really hot temperatures, like we have here in Florida, get pretty hot temperatures, it's supposed to keep your bees insulated better. Will it do good? I don't know. That's going to be a future video. We'll set that one up and we'll do a little side-by-side comparison. Probably next week we'll be setting that one up. Stay tuned for that episode. This is episode 2, season 1, episode 2. Before we open up the beehives, I am going to make a couple of new inserts. So this is what the bees will build their comb on. Maybe after like 5 years, they start to get old and the wood starts to fall apart. And I have no idea what the inside of my beehives look like because I haven't opened them in a while. So I'm preparing a couple of extra ones just in case we need to do some replacing. And the way you build these is super simple. There's a top piece. Then you got 2 side pieces, and they go together. There's one, here's the other side piece. It's like Legos, see? And we will insert our plate. These things are flexible and they're a little sticky because they are covered in bee wax, which is supposed to help the bees kind of just get started. And then the final plate, which holds it all in place. See, there's a little slit here that will slide right on. And that's it. That is how simple it is to create one of these. Now, to hold it, oops, I was about to say, now to hold it together, they do suggest putting glue. Like, people put glue right there, and then they glue it on. But I personally have never used the glue. I know a couple other beekeepers that also do not use the glue. But what we do use, some little nails. There we go, 4 nails. One there, one there, we'll flip it, one there, one there. And that's it. That is how simple it is to make these. And it's always good to have some on standby. There's 10 in there, 10 in there, 10 in there, and another 10 in there. So I got a whole bunch that I got to put together. You might notice these are smaller. So these frames are much smaller than the other frames. And that is because there are two different sizes of boxes. I'll show you. Man, why are the bees acting so crazy today? I don't know what is up with that. You see how the bottom box is bigger than the top box? The top box is smaller, and that's because the bottom box, that's the brood box. That's where the queen lays her eggs. They also have their bee bread down there and all this stuff they need to raise a strong, good, healthy colony. And then here is a queen excluder, which is these little slits that the bees can get through, but the queen is too big to fit through it. So the queen cannot go into the top. And because the queen can't go in the top, she doesn't lay any eggs up there. So the top is only honey, and which is a smaller box, which makes it easier for harvesting. You could put a bigger box up top too, and you could even put multiple boxes on top of each other, which is something we're going to be doing probably next week. I haven't opened this thing in so long, so we're about to open it up and see how it looks. If it looks really bad in there, I might take some old ones out and might put some new ones in there, and we're just gonna see what happens as we open it up. I have really no game plan. This beehive over here, I actually took this top box off, and this is where I harvested all that honey from. So these are all empty. Wow, they're actually very clean. So I need to put that back on top of this one, because right now they don't have any space in there to put their honey. So that's probably why they might be a little overcrowded in there and they might swarm. So good thing we're doing this today. I think if I would have waited, shoot, any day now they're gonna swarm. This is my bee suit, and the last time I opened up the hive and I got honey out of it, I didn't even wear a bee suit and I didn't get bit. I've never been bit by my bees. But today I'm gonna put on the bee suit because I plan on kind of being with the bees for a while, and they might start getting agitated after a while. So figured I'd put the bee suit on, but I got a slight problem. This is like a cheap bee suit I got off Amazon, and the zipper to hold the top on, the hat piece is broken. I mean, look, the zipper doesn't do anything. It's not locking up anymore, which means the bees can theoretically get under there and bite me right on the neck or in the face if they get into here. So that'll be fun. In the future, I think I'm gonna buy a nice bee suit. This one was like $100 and it's total crap. You would think I paid like $20 for this. So, oh, geez. I got the bee suit on, and yeah, they can probably fly right up in there and get me, but we'll see. They have been so friendly. So I'm actually not too concerned about it. Here's my smoker. This little thing right here is like a smoker starter. If I had a little propane torch, I wouldn't need this, but I just have a couple of like crumpled up palm fronds in there. Seems to be burning pretty good. I got a new propane torch that I ordered that should be getting here probably tomorrow, but I just could not wait. We have to do the bees today. All right, I'd say that's probably good. I got my big camera just in case if I find the queen or something. I'd like to show you guys. That would be pretty cool. Oh, I can't wait to open this hive up. I don't know what to expect. So we're just lightly smoking them, which is gonna cause them to kind of retreat, and it chills them out a little bit. See how they all run inside? And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of growth, like a lot of stuff they're building here in the bottom, which is not where they should be building. They should be building on the combs in here, which is telling me that they're probably overcrowded in there, and that's why they're building in random spots. Where is my tool? Here it is. So this guy, we're gonna be able to use to pry open this beehive. Let's open her on up and see what's inside. Oh, that lid came off very easily. All right, so this is not supposed to be stuck on there like that. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna clean this up. See, that should not look like that. We want this to be nice and clean. I'm sorry, bees. You know what? I'll do that in a second. Before we start cleaning things, let's just see what we got going on in here. Actually looks very healthy. Let's pull it out and see. Okay, nothing on that side. Okay, so that is an empty comb. Wow, that is also an empty comb. What in the world? Notice how chill my bees are. They're not doing anything. They're so chill. Another empty comb. It looks like it's ready to be filled with honey though. All right, there's a tiny, tiny bit of honey in there. You can see that bee right there. He's got his head stuck in there. He's either putting honey into it or taking honey out. I'm not completely sure. Wow, these are all empty. That's crazy. Every single one is empty. That's a little disappointing. I thought we were gonna have tons of honey in there. So let's take off this top box and let's see what the brood box is looking like down there. Oh, it's looking full. I'm a little confused. Why is the brood box full, but then the honey box up top, the super, had almost nothing in it? I am a little confused on what's going on. So the queen is somewhere in here. Let's lift one of these big boys out of here and see what's going on. Oh wow, a lot of honey. Oh yeah, you can see that honey dripping. They built some comb in some weird places. So I'm gonna lightly clean up all of these. I think the bees are getting slightly more upset. And it's okay if there's honey leaking out or I break any of their comb, because the bees, they will suck it right back up and they will rebuild their comb. I actually think it's kind of good for them. Keeps them on their toes. Okay, more honey. Yep, just some nectar and some honey there. It's actually pretty labor intensive. You know what? I'm gonna give these bees a second. I got a bee stuck in my helmet, hat. Whew. Okay, hold on a second. That is mentally exhausting. To have so many bees buzzing around your head. Oh my God, they're getting up my legs and stuff. I can't believe they didn't bite me. I did not get bit, but they were not happy. So I feel like I might be ruining these bees' day. I think they're having a great day until I came around. So what I'm looking for is for eggs, the larvae, or like a new queen cell. That's what I'm looking for, and I haven't found any. All I'm finding is honey. Honey, 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 honey. Where's the larvae and the eggs and all that? That's what I'm looking for. I'm also trying to clean this hive a bit from all this gunk that's built up in here. So this is taking longer than it should, just because it's, you know, not a well-maintained beehive. But after this, if I just check it, you know, maybe like once every 2 weeks, just come and check it and keep it up to date. This will be easy, but not today. Today I'm working. All right, let's see what we got on this tray. Ah, here we got some larvae. I'm trying to see if I can find the queen for y'all. She's probably around here somewhere. Yeah, I do not see the queen. So she's not here. Bunch of larvae though. And bee bread. So this is exactly what I was looking for. But I don't see any queen cells, so I won't be able to use this in the nuke because there's no baby queens on here. We need a baby queen. That is what we need. Wow, lots and lots of baby bees in there. But still no queen. There's no queen cells anywhere. Okay. This is pretty invasive, I'm not gonna lie. The bees are not happy at all. But they're still being very civil with me. Lots of larvae, once again. But where is the queen? There's a lot of caregiver bees in here too. And all this gunk, I'm just going to remove because I just don't like it on here. These bees are not happy with me. Oh my God, that whole comb is coming off. Oh no, the whole comb came off. I'm gonna shake this comb off. There's some bee bread in there, but you know what? This is gonna go in the nuke because a new colony would be able to use that. This is what happens when you don't maintain your beehives very often. They build in a crazy way and then nothing really sticks that well. No queen cells. I mean, I know for a fact there's a queen in here. I was hoping there'd be some queen cells, some new queens. I'm gonna put all this stuff back and reevaluate the game plan. Man, right now I'm pulling out all this gunk, like this wax that's like all down there where it should not be. I'm gonna try and clean all of this out and then I'll let you guys know what the game plan is. All right, I got all the trays back in there. Now this right here is the thing that prevents the queen from going upstairs. Slide that on there. Oh my God, this thing is dirty. It's not dirty, it's just like covered in this wax. Okay, put the top back on. Whew. You can see the bees walking back into the hive. That means the queen is somewhere in the hive. That's a good sign. All right, you know what time it is? It's time for this beehive to get some attention. Now this beehive didn't have the super on it, so I'm hoping that the bees in here were crowded, and when the bees are crowded, they want to split, and before they split, they will create new queens. And that's what I'm after. I'm after some new queens for my nuke, so I can start a new hive in the little one. But I need a new queen to do that. Fingers crossed we find ourselves a queen in here. This hive is in a little bit better condition than the other one because I messed with this one not too long ago. However, it's not in much better condition. So, oh yeah, see, there shouldn't be that much stuff on the top of the hive, but it's okay. It's not ideal, but life could be worse, you know? So I'll just start with a quick little cleaning of the top. Now let's take a little peek in here. Ooh. Okay. I don't think the queen is on this one because there are no eggs laid on there. A lot of honey. Oh, there's a lot of brood right there. Oh no, this whole thing just came off. There's a lot of brood in there. I hope the queen's not on here. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. It just came right off of the thing. I just haven't opened it in so long that the hive's all like messed up looking. Oh shit, I gotta beat. Ah! Whew. Oh. 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 Whew. I had like 4 or 5 of them inside of my headpiece. Wow, this is probably the most unprofessional bee video you will ever watch. Yeah, it's hard. Oh yeah, they're not happy. Woo! Yep. I need to get a better bee suit. I cannot work when I'm under stress like this. If I don't trust my bee suit, then I cannot think straight. Okay, so I gotta put these guys in the nuke. There's a bee hatching. There's a little baby bee coming out of his little egg. You see him, this guy? He's literally hatching right in front of our eyes. So here's my crazy idea. I'm gonna put this bee brood, whatever, like here in the corner. And then I'm gonna put this one in the other corner. Oh man, these bees are not happy with me. I wouldn't be happy with me either. I gotta finish what I started. I'm just gonna stick everything back in there. I'm gonna close the top, reevaluate. So, Lord have mercy on me. I'm about to get fucking whacked here. Excuse me, coming through, coming through. Okay, a lot of honey on here and stuff. I'm actually gonna put this into the nuke, and I'll tell you guys why a little bit later, but I got high hopes for this. Okay, and we will put the top on that. Okay. Ha! Sorry, bees. Don't hate me forever. You can hate me a little bit, but don't hate me too much. Oh my God, where's the queen excluder? Oh, there it is. Oh, these bees are not happy. Okay. Ah! Oh God, there's the super. Please put some honey in there for me. Woo. All right, we'll close that, screw that. Put the top back on. I'm out of here. Peace, bees. All right, it's been an hour since I've been down there. I am no longer in my bee suit. And the question is, have the bees calmed down, or am I about to get wrecked? I guess we're gonna find out. I just spent about an hour watching videos on looking for queen cells. I think what we're gonna do is tomorrow I'm gonna suit up again and we're gonna go back into that hive and we're gonna finish what we started. But I don't feel like doing it today. Oh, did you guys see that? My banana tree just fell over. All right, well, they're not attacking me yet. That's a good sign. Yeah, they seem pretty chill. All right, so the bees are chilled out. That's good. That makes me happy. Oh, there's actually bees going in and out of the nuke. That's actually a really good sign. How are these bees doing over here? Business as usual. You can see I got like a whole battle zone of this wax, this bee wax stuff. What I could do is I could keep this and I could melt it down and I can rub it on the new inserts. Maybe I'll keep this stuff. Look at all this wax that I collected. So I definitely cleaned it up a lot in there, but it could probably use another good cleaning. I'm sure I can get another nice big chunk of wax out there because I want all my combs to be perfect in there and not have, it's called crazy comb, when the bees they run out of space and then they start building comb all over the place and it's not uniformed anymore and it's just crazy. See, that right there, that's crazy. That's what happens when you don't manage your beehives regularly, making all the mistakes that one can make right now. How are my chickens doing? I'm gonna do some research on maybe there's something cool I could do with all this stuff. What's up, buddy? All right, it's the next day and the bees have calmed down. They're actually doing very well.
There's bees still coming in and out of the nuke. Fingers crossed that the bees in here realize there's no queen and they make a new queen. That's the goal. That's what I'm hoping for. If it works out, that's going to become its own hive. Got a couple more nukes and we'll just be doing a little more splitting if it's successful. Now let me show you guys my worm buckets. So these buckets, I cut the bottom out and I put some decently sized holes, something that definitely a worm could fit through, just along the bottom of the bucket. And we're gonna be burying these buckets in here. And then we're gonna fill this whole bed, probably up to here, with soil. So the buckets should be about that deep in the ground. And these holes allow the worms to come in and out of the bucket. So I'll be putting my compost in there like food, and then you'll put the lid on top and the worms can break it down in there. And the worms can also leave as they please and go through different parts of the garden. I got 2 different bucket tops, one that screws on, which is this one. So this top screws on, and this top you just lay it on. Figured I'd try both tops to find my favorite one. I'll probably fill that up with soil, maybe today or tomorrow. It's already sunset, it's pretty late in the day. The ladies are out late. They should be running back to the coop soon. But that is my update for the bees for today. So everything's back to normal. It was a little crazy going in those hives. And I ordered a new bee suit, which I should have in a couple days. We will open these hives back up and see if a new queen cell has been made. The bees make the honey when all the flowers are blooming. So like springtime, which will be probably around 3 months, we should start seeing some nice honey flowing. Maybe even sooner, because my citrus plants, they are blooming here in Florida. Look at this. I mean, full bloom. The smells are insane right now. The whole thing is gonna be covered in oranges. So maybe the honey will start flowing sooner than expected. Super beautiful sunset going on. And I got more done than I thought I was going to. I wetted up some peat moss and added some corn to it, like whole corn. That way it can break down. Some of it'll sprout and then it'll die and decompose. It'll be perfect for this worm compost bin. And we're gonna add our buckets. Oh! Well, screwed it up. I think that's pretty good. I like where that's at. And then I'm just gonna fill this peat moss around it to hold it in place. And you could use probably anything, any type of soil. You probably even use newspaper, and the worms will eventually break it down into worm poop, which is really good. Both buckets in the hole. Perfect. So this whole bed is gonna end up getting filled up with all my compost. This composter right here, we're gonna put in the center. And these are my old compost bins, and they're full of worms. Oh yeah. You can see how rich this soil is. It's been a few days and my new bee suit has arrived. This one, it says made to last it's an Australian brand, Armor, OZ Armor. Oh, like Aussie armor? So we're about to put on the new bee suit. I got a couple other new things, like a butane torch to light my smoker. It didn't come with any butane, so I think you just 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10. Oh, okay, I think it's full. And it says to wait for 5 seconds. I'll shake it up. Let's see. Very nice. I did buy a few more boxes. There's like 3 more boxes. I may have gone a little overboard with the beehives. Oops. I got a problem where when I start something, I always go way too hard. We also have the new folding pinfish traps, which is a new product coming out on southfloridafishingchannel.com. Foldable pinfish traps. That's gonna be a cool one. But I'm gonna try on this bee suit, and then We are going to check the hive, and I'm hoping that the nuke has a new queen in it. Today has been a little windy. I went sword fishing yesterday. That's gonna be a sweet video, but oh no, not my soil. It's been a real windy day. I've been meaning to get my citrus plants planted. I had to move this one over here because it kept falling over. But wow, this orange tree is blooming and smelling so pretty. Whew. And yes, we have a couple of additions. We have the plastic hive. The heck is that? The hell? Let's get that bee suit on. Hey girl. Got the new bee suit on the lockdown. Some pros and cons. I think it looks better. Pro. Con, it weighs a lot. It's heavy, it's 3 layers of mesh, ain't no bee coming in here, but it's gonna be hot. Oh boy. And I like that I can open the front, you know, have a nice cold glass of lemonade. Another pro, I can wear my hat in here so my hair doesn't come into my face. Oh. Well, it's time to get this party started. You might be wondering, why am I getting suited up so heavily when my bees are so friendly? And I'll just admit it, I've only had bees for like 3 years, and I still, like, when I work around them, I'm way more relaxed and calm when I know I'm not gonna get stung, and then I just feel better. That's it, that's why. I've never been stung, but it ain't gonna be today. Actually, I have been stung, but not by my bees. And my bee tool, I lost, or I can't find it. Probably because I ordered so much stuff and I gotta clean up downstairs, but I found this paint scraper, which should work just fine. All right, boys and girls, let's find out if the bees have started making a new queen cell or if all of this is going to be a disaster. How come there's a dent on the top? That's brand new. Already has a dent on it? I want my money back. I'm gonna just smoke them a little bit, even though I don't think it's necessary. Is that even smoking? All right, these wood chips are not burning well. Oh, look who came into play. They pretty much just follow me around wherever I go. Yes, let it burn. Boo. All right, so I remember the brood in here is all sorts of messed up. Wow, and they've already built all this together. That didn't take long. Or no, it just fell off of the wall. Hey, there's a lot of royal jelly in there. There is no queen cell that I can see. Put this down for just a second. Now there is a piece of comb in here that is just hanging. Hey, that looks like a queen might have came out of there. See, those look like queen cells. 1, 2, 3 of them. The third one looks like it's been hatched. Wait, is there a queen in here? All right, I am getting rid of this. This is no bueno. All right, so because there's queen cells in here, I think that's a queen cell. I'm almost positive that is a queen cell. And that I'm moving the bees around, hoping I can find the queen. If I find the queen, I am going to be the happiest man alive. Okay, so I will put this back in here. Oops, sorry bees, sorry. Is there a queen in here maybe? This was that huge brood. There's a lot of exposed larvae in here. I am not a fan of this. Like, what do you do when you just have a thing like this? I can't just put it back in there. They're gonna screw it all up. I'm gonna put it on this side. I'm hopeful, but I'm also confused because I don't see a queen anywhere. You might have to stay tuned for next week's episode to find out if we have a queen or not. All right, we will check this box again next week. And fingers crossed there's gonna be a queen in here. I have an idea though. If I can find a queen cell in one of the other boxes, I could put it in here. So I may do that. I got a brand new queen excluder for my very favorite hive. This one is just so old, it needs a good cleaning. So we're gonna be replacing it with this one. You're welcome, bees. Your house is getting a makeover. Kind of want to take a little peek in here. You know, all my hives need like a real good cleaning, like a serious cleaning. I'll let you guys know if I find the queen in here. The way the bees are all bunched up over here, the queen might be in this area. I wish I had my bee tool. I don't know where it went. There's little babies in there, so I know the queen is near. I have checked every plank in this hive and they seem to be very healthy, but I did not find the queen. So these are sneaky little bees, but they are looking very healthy. And I gave them a pretty good cleaning, so. Whoa, look at this ball of bees. You think the queen could be in there? This morning with my coffee, I was gonna eat 2 red tomatoes, and there's only a green tomato left. There is one red one here, kind of hidden away, but I had 2 plump red ones right there, and a bird came and ate them this morning. So it turns out there's a bird eating all of my things up here, and I'm not sure how to protect myself against birds, because them suckers can just fly in here. If you got any ideas, how do I stop birds from getting to this? I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with something. Last night, I moved my beehive, and there's a rule that says you should only move a beehive no more than 3 feet, or if you're gonna move it really far, it should be at least 3 miles. If you move it 3 feet, the bees can leave and they'll still kind of find their hive and get back into it. But if you move it like 10 feet, their GPS coordinates, they'll come back here and they won't know their hive is over there, so they won't find their hive. So if you're gonna move it far, you need to move it 3 miles. Because if you move it 3 miles, then the bees, they'll come out and they'll realize they're in a completely different area and they'll reorientate their GPS and they'll be fine. Hey, buddy. Elliot is covered in sand. Buddy, were you rolling around on the beach again? Got a little beach over there that Elliot just loves. But I moved the beehive to right there, which is about 9 feet. And if you'll notice, look at all these bees. They're just hovering right here. And they can't figure it out. They're like, wait, our home isn't here. So they're all just hovering right here. This morning, about an hour ago, there's probably like 4 times as many bees. There's actually a lot of bees just hovering right here. Now there's maybe like 500 bees that are all just hovering here. But if we go over here, this is where their new hive is. I moved it last night in the middle of the night when they were all inside the hive. I used a candlestick, a wax candlestick, to close the entrance. There was 2, but I took one of them out. And that right there is the beehive. But you can see that most bees have found their way back. It actually looks very healthy. There's a lot of bees just covered in pollen coming back in. So the hive looks very healthy. And oh, the chickens are running up. Look, Captain Elliot and the chickens, they get along. They've been friends since day one. It's starting to feel like a farm. Hello, ladies. So the right way of doing this would have been to move the hive maybe from there to there, and then the next day to there, and then to the next day finally to there. But I don't got time for all that. So all these bees right here that are lost, they can't figure out where their home is. I think eventually most of them will make it back to the hive, and it's such a strong hive that it'll be completely fine. Just based on what I'm seeing, I would say it was a successful move. Isn't that right, ladies? It's Friday morning, so this is my last update for this episode. And the bees, well, this is kind of tragic, but it could be a good thing. I'm not totally sure. There's probably about 200, maybe 300 dead bees all in a pile. These are all dead bees right here. You can see that. And what happened is a lot of bees died and they got pulled out, and the bees will just drop them. So they all end up right here. Ah! A couple of bees just flew right into my face.
They are a little on edge because of that move. And here's the sad part. In this pile of bees, there is a queen bee. You see how all these bees are like in a ball on top of something? Well, they are actually balling on top of a queen. There she is. There she is, right there. That is a normal sized bee, and that right there is a queen. And I did some research on why I have a bunch of dead bees in a pile with a dead queen in the middle of the pile. I read that this is common when the hive rejects a queen, and they will basically kill her or just kick her out, and some bees will go with her. And the reason they reject queens is the queen may no longer be laying eggs right, she might not be strong, or for some reason the hive is stressed. And it's too much of a coincidence that this happened the day after I moved the hive. So I'm thinking that me moving that hive from there to there stressed out the bees a lot, and they may have blamed the queen on the stress and then killed her. If you have an idea what happened here, let me know. But on the bright side, the hive looks super active. I'm sure they have new queen cells in there and they have a new queen coming, or maybe there is already a new queen in there. Or maybe this wasn't the original queen. This could have been a new queen and the old queen rejected her. I'm not sure, but the hive is doing very well, super active, lots and lots of bees coming in and out, bringing pollen and goodies in there. So the hive looks good. So at least that worked. This hive, I'm still not sure if there's a queen in here or not, but there is some activity in there. And then this hive over here, it's doing very well. The bees are popping. I do want to move that hive over there with the rest of the hives, but I'm worried there will be another tragedy when I do that. So if you have any tips, let me know in the comments and I'll read them today. And this weekend, I will try once again to move around my hives and to find the queen. I need to find a queen for that hive right there. So the hunt for the queen continues, and hopefully we'll get it done by next week. And check out our worm composter. This is done. Let's see if we got anything in here. Yeah, I put some bananas in there, some whatever is left over from the kitchen, and it's all breaking down in there. There's a bunch of worms in there. I don't have anything in this one yet, but there are little plants sprouting out of there, which is funny. And the nice thing about having my compost tumbler right here is once it's full, I can just open these and turn it upside down, and all this compost in here will dump right onto the ground. And then I got some beautiful soil, beautiful compost that I can use for fertilizer on all my other plants. We're getting the banana trees planted next week, and hopefully we'll have an egg eventually. Still no eggs, my chickens are still broken, but I am feeding them nicely, so I'm hoping. Actually, let's check right now. Maybe I got an egg. Come on, baby, let there be an egg in here. Let there be an egg. Damn, there's no egg in there. What's wrong, ladies? Can't lay me an egg? Don't run away. Their very favorite snack. These are soldier fly larvae that have been dehydrated, but the chickens love it. Look what I got. Come here. I have a special little place where I like to feed them and where they like to hang out, which is right over here. Come on, chicken. I gotta really come on. Come this way. Once the other chickens see, they're gonna come running over here. Here he comes, here he comes. There she is, hey. So I got a little spot over here where I like to put their food. It's shaded and they got a lot of dirt and rocks to kick up, and I'll just kind of spread their food around here, and it gives them a place to play and to search and scavenge for food.
All right, there's your breakfast. Enjoy. I'm gonna end this episode with a question for you guys. Here are the 2 bees that I picked up, the normal honeybee, and then what I believe is to be a queen, but I'm not sure if that is a mature queen or a juvenile queen and what the situation was. I did want to find a queen this episode. Unfortunately, it didn't really happen the way that I wanted it to, but we do got a queen on the table. Hopefully the one in the next episode will be alive, but that's my situation right now. Why do you think this queen was dead under the hive with a couple hundred bees on top of her? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on episode 3, House to Homestead, on the next one. Cheers. Season 1, episode 3, and we are growing catnip this week. I wanted to see the difference between organic and then just non-GMO. This one is more expensive and you get less than half the amount of seeds. Is organic really worth it? So I just started soaking the seeds in wet paper towels. This is the non-GMO, so this one, and this is the organic one. We're gonna grow both of them in separate pots. And then Elliot over here is gonna go buck wild. He's gonna tell us which one he likes more. I honestly feel like it's the same exact seeds, just marketed differently, and then they put a different price on it. There's 200 milligrams of seeds for $3, and this is 425 milligrams, twice as much for only $2.50. So it's cheaper and more than twice the amount of seeds you get. Sometimes I think organic is a bit of a gimmick in certain situations. I mean, it's a seed, right? So if you grow a seed organically, won't it just be organic? Elliot, make this make sense to me. But I was just at the pet store and I went and I got some catnip, and boy is catnip expensive. This little jar was $7. $7 for a little bit of catnip. Your drug addiction is expensive. But the pet store here in the Keys Critters it's called, gave me a free sample of this stuff called wild-caught Baltic Sprott. On the go. It says dog treats, but they told me I could give it to my cat. Look, he's rubbing himself all over it. Let's see. There's like actual little fish in there. In this episode, we will also be back on the hunt for the queen bee, so we'll be doing that in just a moment. But right now, I have to please the pussy cat. Oh, he's getting all up in that catnip. Elliot, do you know how much I paid for that? And you're just throwing it on the ground? Ooh, look at that, buddy boy. A sprott. You're not gonna finish it? Elliot has this weird thing where he loves to eat fish, but if I ever present him a fish in whole form, he will not touch it. So like this, I bet if I broke this up, he would eat it, but because it's a whole fish, he just does not care. I think he can only think about catnip right now. Come on, buddy. Come on. I need to get a pot ready for this catnip. And we will also be doing a little comparison of homegrown catnip versus store-bought catnip, and we'll see which one he goes a little more crazy for. But first we gotta grow it. So for now, he's gonna get the store catnip. I'm surprised he hasn't rolled into it yet. Well, turns out Elliot did not like the sprats. They smell very fishy, so I'm surprised he didn't like them, but I'm gonna give them to the chickens. And we are about to plant our catnip seeds in some new pots. These are actually my papaya pots. I paid, what is it? $13.98 for each of these papayas, which I planted over here. And I planted these maybe like 3 weeks ago. And remember the chickens pretty much ate all the leaves off? Well, all the new leaves Look at them, they're beautiful, and the chickens can't really reach them that well. Yeah, it's pretty tall now. When I planted them, they were only about this tall when I planted them, so they almost doubled in size in 3 weeks. Holy moly. This one's growing faster than that one, probably because it gets more sun, but eventually they're gonna be very tall, and then they'll soak up all that sunlight. And this is my pH and temperature gauge for the soil that I made. So I made 75 gallons of soil, 25 gallons in each of these. And I wanna make sure that the soil isn't running hot. Because sometimes when you mix soil and there's a lot of organic material in there, and then the bacteria and microorganisms and all this living stuff inside your soil starts to break down that organic material, it can get very hot. It can get up to like 110, 120 degrees inside of your soil, also known as hot soil. So I've been letting this sit for a few days and it doesn't seem to be getting hot. So that's a good sign. And we can plant our seeds into it. 84. We can also see that the soil is at 38% moisture level. So 100% would basically be underwater, and 50%, 52% is like maximum that you want. And I would say like 42% is the lowest you want. So right now it's 37%, so it's a little dry. Could use a little bit of water. All right, this soil did not get hot either. Perfect. I got my soil recipes down pretty damn good. I probably need about another month to perfect it and to run a few more tests. But once I have the perfect soil formula down, I'm gonna make a whole video on it and share it with you guys. I'm just testing it on a whole bunch of different plants, but we'll see how it does with the catnip. So this soil is good to go. Sometimes if you put a lot of fertilizer, too much fertilizer in your soil, or just too much stuff that can break down, like this is seaweed, dried seaweed, right? So organisms in your soil will actually break this material down, you know, and turn it into soil, essentially. But that process creates heat, and that heat makes your soil get really hot, and little seedlings can die if your soil gets hot and you put some baby plants in it. Trust me, I've killed a lot of plants doing that. My chickens are getting restless. Oh, it likes the sprots. And yes, I am wearing gloves because I don't like getting dirt all under my nails all the time. Then everybody thinks I'm a dirty boy, but I'm actually pretty clean, but I just look dirty. All right, let's fill these pots up with some soil. I originally made all this soil for the banana plants, all the banana trees that I'm gonna be planting along this wall here. Banana, 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 bumblebee, blueberry, kiwi. No, what's something, potato? What's something plump? I need to name my chickens after plump things. All right. I wanna leave some room at the top, so I don't wanna fill it all the way up, but maybe that's probably good. I keep rocks in my soil to help with aeration, but little seeds, I don't usually like using rocks. So from the top, say from the top like 1 or 2 inches of the soil, I'm gonna remove all the rocks, just so we have no rocks in the top where the little seeds start. Looky, looky, 2 pots full of soil. This will be the catnip, the non-GMO, which I'm not sure what non-GMO versus organic is, but okay. And then look at all of our seeds. I'm just gonna drop all the seeds on top of the soil in here. And there we have it. Some of these tiny little seedlings kind of started germinating, and when they do that, they kind of grow into the paper towel. So I took the piece of paper towel that the seeds were starting to germinate on, and I just put it inside of the pot so you could see all the seeds on there. What's gonna happen is these seeds, they'll grow right through the paper towel, and eventually the paper will disintegrate, break down, and in its own kind of way become a fertilizer in a way. Kind of. But let's get it a little wet. You know, nothing crazy. We're not trying to drown our plants. Perfect. And here I have some topsoil mixed with peat moss. It's like 80% peat moss and then 20% topsoil. No rocks or anything, very fine, nice and fluffy. And I'll just sprinkle just a little bit on top of our seeds, maybe like a centimeter. And there we have it. I'll keep you guys updated. Maybe later this week it'll be sprouted up in the next 2 or 3 days. And I gotta keep the chickens away because when they see a little plant sprout up, all they wanna do is eat it. You don't buck me. Look at these 3 little troublemakers. Take one last look at this because I'm about to put in some work here. Probably gonna trim this tree back. This is a sea grape tree, by the way, and it is actually just about to make sea grapes. All these little balls are gonna turn into these blueberry-sized things called sea grapes. And I heard people make jam with it and stuff. I've never tried. Maybe we'll give it a try. But I am going to remove some rocks, dig some holes, put the plants in, and we'll see how this looks when I'm done. We are making progress. I laid the wood outline and I shoveled a bunch of rock out of here. And now I have to dig holes for each banana plant. And getting through this ground is so hard. And my buddy said I should just rent some tool from like Lowe's or Home Depot, but I only have 4 more holes to go, so I'm gonna do it with an axe. Basically, this hole right here, I axed this whole hole out. I mean, I'm telling you, like, look at, that ground is solid. Yeah, it's gonna be like 15, 20 minutes of axing per hole. And over here is just, I put some dirt in here a couple years ago and I forgot about it, and it's always been chilling over there, and stuff's just started growing in it. And these, what are these called? Catnip? I forget what they're called, but it's kind of cool. It reminds me of the Everglades or like being out in the boondocks or something. So I might just let that continue growing and doing its thing. But I got some chopping to do and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. Holy moly, that took like an hour and a half, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Took a bunch of the rocks out. That chicken's digging a hole right there. Hey buddy. How you doing? We're looking very good. Now all we gotta do is add some soil and we're done. We have our banana plantation. Whew, welcome to the Jungle Book. Baby steps, but it's starting to look pretty damn good. Whew. I don't wanna do it, but this sea grape tree, when the sun comes like this, it covers all the banana plants. So I'm gonna chop it down right here. And I'm hoping that this stump will grow a new plant here along the fence line. I have another sea grape right there, but I'm gonna keep that one. That one's okay, but this one is in the way, fortunately. I do love this tree though. It grows super fast. I cut it down last year and like to the stump, and this is how big it got since then. Ooh, it's a windy day today. I woke up and my mango tree had fallen over, or I mean my papaya tree, but I propped it back up. The chickens keep digging holes in there and completely messing it up. So I might put like a big layer of mulch so the chickens can't get to it. But I'm sure the chickens will get through the mulch. And here's the sea grape tree I want to cut down. You see, the sun is right there. It is in the afternoon, and basically from there all the way to there, like most of the day, the sun is right there. All right, yeah, so the sun basically goes like this, and look at the shadow that it puts onto all of my banana trees. All of my banana trees are in the shade, except this one's kind of got some sunlight, but these guys are in the shade because of this guy. So I am going to chop it down right here, and this stump will actually sprout out new stems, and I'll keep trimming them as they grow to stay like this. So I'll have a sea grape tree kind of like here is where I imagine it. So it'll probably take a year or two of nice trimming, maybe just a year, but eventually it'll be like a nice trimmed out sea grape bush going all the way to the beehive. That's the goal. So let's chop this sucker down. I got this electric saw. It's nothing crazy, but I've chopped down palm trees with it, so it's pretty legit. And you can see I just went and chopped it right through there, so the thing's about to come down. It is a little sad chopping this tree down because it is just going into bloom, and I was really excited for all these sea grapes, and the bees are loving it, but it must be done. All right, it's about to go. And yes, I know I probably should have cut the branches off first, but I wanted a dramatic scene for the camera. Timber, look at that. They now all have sunlight. Grow, my little babies. Rest in peace. R.I.P. But the stump, I have high hopes that this stump will continue to flourish with life. And we're gonna see a beautiful sea grape tree, maybe season 2, or maybe the end of this season. Don't forget, this is our House to Homestead series. Every weekend I post a new episode, and we are trying to turn this house into a sustainable homestead where we grow our own food, get our own eggs, get our own honey, test out a bunch of things, and we're gonna apply everything we learn here one day to some real land. See, these are all the little sea grapes. They're flowering right now, and that's why there's a whole bunch of bees in here. Let's see if I can't find a bee. Oh, here's a bee. 2 bees actually, you see them? They're collecting the pollen right off of those flowers. So that part is a little sad. We had to cut down this beautiful blooming tree. I already miss it. But in the long run, it'll be worth it because we'll have the trees in the right spots. This thing was in the way. Like, here's my walkway. It was just not optimized. It had to go. I need to do something with my 3 citrus trees. They've just been in these pots and their roots are kind of exposed, and we need to give them some McLovin'. And I was just thinking about the absurdity of digging a huge hole in the ground, filling it with soil and putting the citrus tree in it. It would probably take me an hour per hole. And I'm not sure where exactly I want to put them in the yard. So I came up with the idea, I'm gonna put them in 25-gallon bags, these things. I got one there, here's another one. This one's already got some soil in it. There's another one. Those 2 are 15-gallon ones, which I think is a little small. I think 25, oh, there goes, goodbye. What do you think about that, chicken? I think 25 gallons, maybe even like a 30 or a 40 gallon would be ideal for this. 15 gallons is a little small if you want some big juicy oranges. And it's in full bloom, so I want to give them some nutrients ASAP. I'm gonna fill these up with soil. I'm gonna put the citrus trees in them, and then I can move them around for the next couple of months until I find a spot where I really like them, and then I'll dig a hole. And any soil that I have left over, I got something special that we're gonna do with it. You're gonna have to just wait and find out. This right here is my soil recipe from Build-A-Soil. They put out some great information, but it's 60% peat moss, 30% pumice. Pumice is like an aeration rock, but I don't have pumice, but I just use these coral rocks and it's basically like pumice. Then 7% compost, 3% topsoil. So the topsoil that I use, that's it. 4 ingredients, we're gonna mix them together, make some soil. Whew, there we go. We have 3 pots, 3 25-gallon pots with the peat moss, then the rocks, and then the topsoil with the compost mix. Now I gotta mix these 3 and then it'll end up looking like that one. And it's time to pot some plants. Oh, I feel like such a farmer right now. We got shovels laying around and hoses everywhere, but we got the soil mixed up. Yep, all the soil's mixed up. We got our 2 orange trees. This is the Tangelo Orlando, and this one is the Orange Vernia. So we will see which one makes the more delicious orange in an upcoming episode. They are blooming, so we should have some oranges soon. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, once they're in these new pots, they're just gonna explode. When they're bigger, it'll be like a wall of delicious oranges that you walk through to get to the boat. I mean, does it get more Florida than that? Walking through an orange field to get to your fishing boat? Oh, yeah, baby! Did a little bit of trimming, and I am very happy with my orange tree. Now I'm gonna probably move it around for the next couple of weeks till I find a spot that I really like for it. This beehive, I'm gonna end up moving back there behind the Range Rover. This is a mangrove tree, and this is a mangrove tree, and they grew into each other and they connected and they are making like an arc, and it's super cool. So I'm thinking about putting a bench in here because it'll be like shady. It'll be like a little shady mangrove cut with an orange tree, little bench, perfect place for the morning coffee. And over here we have the lemon tree, got him planted in there, and the other orange tree. For now I'll just keep them right here, but damn, they looking good. And I said I was gonna do something special with the leftover soil, and we're gonna do that right now. See, I've been feeling a little bad about cutting down this beautiful sea grape tree that I absolutely love. We are going to take some cuttings from it and grow new sea grape trees. Sea grape trees are propagating, I think is the right word, which means if you cut off a branch and you stick it in soil, it'll grow new roots and become its own tree. Isn't that beautiful? So we're gonna take these banana pots. I have 4 banana pots, and they even got pictures of bananas on them. Pretty cool little pots. That's what the banana trees came in. And we will fill these with the rest of the soil and put some sea grape cuttings into it. Maybe I'll add some compost to supercharge it. I put a fish head in here yesterday. Let's see how it's doing. Well, would you look at that? Looks pretty good. That is a Cero mackerel, and I put out a fishing video where I turned that into a mackerel tartare pate. It was incredible. If you want to watch my fishing videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I post 2 fishing videos every week, and then 1 house to homestead video every week to update you guys on all the things going on here in the garden. Let's fill these damn pots. Actually, before we fill the pots, let's take our cuttings. Okay, we want to find a branch that's about 1/2 inch thick. You don't want a branch that's too thick. The thinner the branch, the easier it is for it to create new roots. Oh, there's so many bees in here, all eating this brand new pollen. There's a bee right there. Oh no, my chickens are in the banana. They keep digging holes in all my stuff. All right, I like this one. Cut that one off. Looks good to me. I'm gonna prune it a little bit. I need 3 more. Here we go, we have 4 beautiful cuttings. And this is our banana pot. So we will be sticking it in the soil like this. So I know everything below this spot, I'm just gonna cut off. Like these roots, cut that off, that. We'll cut some of these leaves off too. You don't want too many leaves because leaves use a lot of energy and they need a lot of water, and we won't have a root system to keep the leaves watered. So taking off some of the leaves helps out the plant a bit. Oh, that is going to look so good. I like it. Let's do it. I'll just hold. Oh, before we do that, I want to show you guys a little tip, a little trick, a little secret. And you can spend a bunch of money on cloning stuff, like cloning liquid that you put on your roots, and it's supposed to help your plant make roots faster. But there is a natural remedy. Instead of spending 20 bucks on a Clonex bottle, you can take an aloe plant, just like this one here, cut off a piece, and then that slimy stuff coming out of the aloe plant, you just rub on the root. Oh yeah, nice coating on the whole thing. Put it on the bottom too. Now it's ready for some soil. That right there is a potential new sea grape tree that has a whole life ahead of it. This tree might become 20, 30, 40 years old. Who knows? I think the mother tree is gonna survive and sprout some new tops, but just in case, we will have some of these. Guess for now, I'll probably just put them here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I'll just keep them in pots for now until they get rooted and show some signs of life. By the way, shout out to the Build-A-Soil guy. He's the one, he made a video that mentioned using this aloe stuff as a root cloner. Turns out I had 5 pots, 5 banana pots, not just 4, so I went ahead and made 5 of them. Look at these chickens, always trying to dig holes where they're not supposed to. But I gave them a little bit of watering. They're all in there pretty nicely. And to keep the moisture in these pots, I'm gonna add a little bit of mulch. And I had a company come here maybe like 3 months ago, and they cut down a few palm trees that I had. I had a couple of palm trees that were giving me problems. I had 2 really big ones there, and they would make coconuts. Like every 2 months, there'd be coconuts on there. It was crazy. And one of the coconuts, actually 3 of the coconuts, hit my truck, smashed the windshield, dented the top of my truck, dented the back, and a couple of coconuts almost hit me in the head once, almost hit my cat. And then I said, you know what? We're taking them down. But when they cut the palm trees down, they brought a mulcher on site. So they took my palm trees and they were mulching it. They had a big grinder in their truck, and I asked them if I could have some, and they filled up an entire trash can of mulch made from my palm tree that was growing on my lot. So does it get any better than that? We're gonna use this mulch for our sea grape trees. I don't know about y'all, but Calcutta, when I was a little kid, Calcutta was one of my favorite fishing companies just because I thought they had the coolest logo ever. And they made shirts and knives and all sorts of really cool stuff. In the last video, one of you guys mentioned in the comments, actually 2 of you guys mentioned in the comments that I should put a fake egg in their chicken coop. I should put a fake egg in there, and it's supposed to help tell the chickens that they should start laying eggs. I don't know. Is it a myth or does it work? But I need to find like a ping pong ball or a golf ball or a fake egg replica. I gotta find me an egg. Getting later in the day, I think all the foraging bees might be coming back. Maybe that's why there's so much activity going on. They're coming back home. It's almost dinner time and then bedtime. So the sun, it goes down like that and it comes up like this. So these plants are only really gonna get light during the first half of the day. But I think that's enough light since they're just little babies. And maybe it'll encourage them to start growing higher so they can reach the light over there. This little palm tree, something happened to it. This is like 3 years old, and in the last year, it hasn't grown at all. It's just like a mini palm tree, but I can tell it's not well. See, look how wiggly that is. And I've been debating on what to do with it. It's kind of in the way. If I got rid of it, these guys would get more light. And I don't really want palm trees anymore because palm trees always turn into a problem for me. Coconut palm trees. The ones that make coconuts, those become a problem for me. Like, look at this one growing right here. I love it. And it's so cool because I can grab a coconut. Like, oh, you want some coconut milk for breakfast? Yeah, I'll just grab this coconut, grab one of those coconuts. And this tree is awesome. But in about 2 years, when it's like that big and I can't reach the coconuts anymore, that's when it becomes a problem. I personally know somebody back in high school that got killed by a coconut. She was running before school and just got hit by a coconut while running on the side of A1A up in Vero Beach. It's crazy. So coconuts are pretty lethal, I would say. You know what, on that note, goodbye, sir. Good day to you. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Oh my God, it's attacking me. Oh, you bastard. You want to play this game? Take that. I gotta get rid of this body before the police get here. Oh, would you look at that? There's a bunch of carpenter ants. Dude, I had problems with carpenter ants trying to steal honey out of this hive, and I couldn't figure out where they were coming from. It looks like they had their colony in these roots. Oh yeah, I see them in there. Hold on a second. Yeah, come on out, boys. Come on out. You picked the wrong house. There they are. There's one. Oh, they're all up in there. There's a whole bunch of them. They're more nighttime creatures, so they're all trying to run back into the darkness. They don't like the light. I just saw one carrying an egg, so I'm clearly disturbing them. They're trying to move their eggs. It's a good sign that they're about to get wrecked. This might be the best tip for the whole video, but the safest way to get rid of carpenter ants and the most effective way, and it's completely organic, is Damascus earth, which is essentially powdered up rock or like shells, and it's very sharp, but to us it just feels like powder. It doesn't hurt us or anything, but for an insect it cuts their exoskeleton open, and then essentially all the water inside them evaporates and they die. And this is the only thing I have been able to kill huge colonies with. I used to have a colony living in the wood of these stairs, and I tried every poison and nothing worked. But then I poured a bunch of this on it and they were done for. So this also works for no seams and, or not no seams, what do you call them? Like fruit flies. If you got fruit flies in your pots and your indoor plants and you put some of this on top, kill all of them. And it's just a powder. And it doesn't harm anything except for insects. So it would harm my bees. Just gotta make sure my bees don't fly into it. And I'm gonna wiggle it all up into the roots. Oh, yes. Somebody's not having a good day right now. And it ain't me. I'm having a great day. I will leave no survivors. And essentially that will kill any insect that touches that white powder is gonna die until it rains, or I could just hose it down, and once it gets wet, it no longer is sharp enough to work. So I'm gonna let it sit there for 10, 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna wash it away. I feel like a gladiator that just won his battle, and now I'm dragging my opponent across the field as the crowd cheers. Yes, the king gave me a thumbs up. Phew. It's been 3 days since we've planted the catnip, and there are a couple of little sprouts just starting to come out. 2 on that one. Well, there's a few there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 in there. We should have a nice top of catnip in the following weeks. Keep you updated on that. And I am making my own beef jerky right now. I sliced up some steaks real thin. I tried out a bunch of different shapes to find my favorite shape, and I soaked all of the meat in honey from my bees overnight, so it should have a nice sweet honey beef jerky, and then I put sea salt on it, so it should be sweet and, what do you call it? Salty and sweet. I have that in there at 170 degrees for, I think I'm gonna do about 4 hours and check it. Now, it is time to do some serious work out here in the backyard. Oh, slightly bad news. This is my cherry tree, my Barbados cherry tree. And I had a cherry growing right here. I was looking at it yesterday and I was pretty proud of my very first grown cherry. And I came out today and it's gone. It's just telling me that damn bird ate my cherry again. That damn bird. I'm really gonna have to figure out something to do about that. We got all the rubble cleaned up from that sea grape coming down and all this stuff that I took down over there. And I came up with a kind of a wild idea, but I think it's gonna be fun. So this sea grape tree cut back a little bit and I bent it into shape. See, this branch was going out this way. This branch was going out this way. I bent it down and I tied it to the main stem to hold it back. This one I tied right there. I used a zip tie to bring the whole tree around and back into itself. Because you can shape these trees, and what I'm thinking is that we got the baby ones right here. They're still alive. Got high hopes for these babies, but I can plant them over there, and they're gonna grow up, and this one's gonna grow up, and I can connect them and make a huge sea grape arc that all my bees will be under. Because the bees love the sea grape trees. The sea grapes, they put out these beautiful flowers. It's kind of tall, I don't know if you can see that. So this one already dried up, but a bunch of beautiful flowers come right out of this thing, and the bees love it. So why not give them a whole arc of it, which also gives them some shade, which is much needed here in the Florida summers. Now, here's my crazy idea for the bees today. I want to move this beehive right here. Oh my God, huge lizard. There's a big lizard. He eats the bees. He's got to go. It's me against nature out here. It's a constant battle. But I'm going to turn this into my citrus nook. See, we got all my citrus trees. I'm going to put one here, here, and all around it in our mangrove arc. Look how beautiful that arc is. The sea grape arc is going to be that, but 5 times as big. And I'm going to put a bench in here, and this will be the perfect morning coffee spot. To do that, we got to move this beehive over here. And in the moving process, I'm also going to split it and try to turn it into 2 beehives. So I'm going to find the old queen in there, and I'm going to take her and put her in her own box. I think I'm going to put them in the plastic hive. Or actually, no, I'm going to put them into a nuke first. Let their colony grow in the nuke, and then I'll put them in there later. But here's the big problem. Big problem right here. This is a coconut palm tree, and here's the problem. It grows coconuts constantly, and they fall down. And if they hit a beehive, or if they hit me while I'm working on a beehive, it's game over. And it's going to be in the way of my sea grape arc. So it's got to go, and the first thing we got to do, we got to chop this sucker down. Oh boy. The chain on my chainsaw got super dull after cutting down that sea grape tree. So my neighbor said he had a chain laying around that didn't fit his chainsaw. This is a 10-inch chain, and it just so happened to fit on mine. At least I think it fits on there pretty good. And it looks pretty good to me. Time to take down this beast of a palm tree. I only have a short ladder, so this is probably going to be a little reckless. If I'm going to be completely honest with myself. There's already a couple of coconuts growing up there. At least if I fall, I can just grab the... Just gonna give it a little cut, and then I'll pull it down the rest of the way. Oh my God, I cut my rope in half. That was the rope I was supposed to use to pull the tree. Wow. Hold on, let me retie that. I can't believe I just cut my rope in half. I didn't even get to say timber. Now I'm gonna cut this down to probably right about here, and we're gonna turn it into a bird bath. And now I can put my other beehives here. Bueno, let's see, I want the bird bath to be right about that height. All right, let's see if this top will fit. Oh my God, it's beautiful. This isn't actually gonna be a bird bath. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this up with water, and the bees will actually be drinking this water, because they sure do get thirsty in this hot sun out here. I just did a little bit of shopping, and in the last video you guys mentioned I should put fake eggs in my chicken coop. It's supposed to make the chickens lay eggs faster. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Some of y'all told me to use ping pong balls, so I'm gonna put a couple ping pong balls in there. Oh, here come the chickens are running. And someone mentioned in the last video that my chicken coop, I need to clean it, but I wanna show you guys. It looks dirtier than it really is. You see these black spots? Those are actually green leaves I put in here, because I heard that if you put some greeneries in with your hemp, that it helps break it down better and it's healthier. But all this stuff, it's there's almost no poop in there. It smells like a barn. It smells fresh. It looks clean. I think it looks pretty good. I believe I read you should clean it when it starts to smell bad. It's probably a good time to clean it. Ladies, this is what you're supposed to be doing for me. Oh no. Now they're gonna think they should lay their eggs on the rocks. No, 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 no. I'm gonna put them in here. A couple of ping pong balls in here, in the back corner. I want a yellow egg. The yellow and the blue egg. Woohoo! Those look so pretty. One day. But the main reason I went shopping is for these popsicle sticks, rubber bands, some school glue. Oh my God. I just squirted it into my nose on accident. Definitely on accident. Ooh, that takes me back to elementary school. So we're gonna glue these popsicle sticks. This gives the bees like a little bit of a base to build their comb off of, because we will be rubber banding the crazy comb in from the beehive. Just a little sliver of glue, not much. Once the bees start going at it, they'll pretty much glue everything together. We'll let that dry. I already got this one done. Popsicles on that side and that side. And we got ourselves a pile of popsicled, what are they called? Bee frames. Popsicled bee frames. And then we're gonna add rubber bands. Oh, these rubber bands are kind of small. Ooh. Wait, there's bigger ones in here. There's all different sizes in here. Oops, I made a mess. Oh, this is a good one. Ooh, that's a really good one, yeah. See, now we can take those loose piece of combs that we have in the beehive and we can stick them in here. And that way, the bees can build a uniformed comb instead of having the comb just laying around in the hive. Just taking a nap in the banana trees. Living that good life. So this is the nuke box that I want to clean up. Is there a queen in there now? Remember, last time we opened this up, there was some queen cells. So hopefully they've hatched, and hopefully this hive has a queen now, which means it might just survive and thrive. So we're gonna open it up. Tonight, I am going to move this hive from there to right here. And yes, that is a far move. You're only supposed to really move a hive 3 feet at a time, but that would take forever. And I think that would actually stress the bees out more than if I just do it in one blast. And remember how I had the bird bath, the water feeder, like right here? Well, I took it and I put it right here. So I'm hoping maybe they'll recognize that and be able to find their way back a little bit better tomorrow. I'm also hoping when they wake up in the morning and they see this huge black Range Rover just chilling there, they're gonna be like, whoa! And maybe they'll reorientate their cells and they should be fine. By the way, the color black is a bee's least favorite color. You should, if they go into attack mode, they usually go after the black things first. So having a shiny black Range Rover parked right in front of my beehives is just like, it's almost just pure comedy at this point. It was not planned like this, but I need to get a new battery for her before I can drive her out of here, which maybe I'll do that tomorrow. The whole point of this bee suit is so I'm supposed to feel safe and work confidently, because my ass don't want to get bit by a bee. Some people don't care, but I don't want to be bit or stung. Yes, I know. It is stung by a bee, not bit by a bee. Yes, yes, yes. Think we're gonna find the queen? I got some high hopes we're gonna find a queen in there. I will be so proud of myself if there is a queen. All right, let's see, what do we have here? One empty. Look, I'm improving. I got a place to put my combs now. Oh my, they took that comb that we just laid in there and completely built it out. This is why you do not put loose comb in your beehive. Okay, let's just start by removing this one. Oh, is that a drone or is that the queen? Okay, it seems like the bees are not using this side at all, so I'm actually going to remove this comb because I think it's hindering their production. Now when they rebuild their comb, it's going to be nice and evenly put on there. We are slowly but surely turning our hives back into productive, clean and organized hives. Where is that really big bee? I believe these are some queen cells right here. Oh my God, I got the chickens running around being crazy. Where did it go? You know what the problem is? These combs go underneath, so the queens can actually go under these combs and then I'll never find them. So for now, I think I'm 99% sure there's a queen on here, but for now I'm just gonna put this one down. We're gonna check the other combs and fix them. All right, this comb, wow, that is looking good. There might be a queen in there too. I will do this one second. For now, I'll just put it in here. Wow, those combs are looking so good. It's time to find our comb. Okay, I see it. There's a piece of comb in there. This was the loose comb that had a queen cell on it last time we checked. All right, so we want to take this and stick it in here. I'm sorry, bees. Oh gosh, I work so slow. The bees hate that. Okay, all right, check that out. So now what the bees are gonna do is they're gonna end up using that as a base and combing in the whole rest of this insert. Nice. I'm scraping off any wax that was left on the walls. We do not want that in there. And we do not want any of that in there. Time to put everything back together. So that comb will go in here. Okay, this is going to be the hardest part. Oh man, this is gonna be a rough one. I think I'm gonna struggle a little bit. This massive comb covered in bees, absolutely covered in bees. Okay, some of the comb is a little messed up in the corners, so I'll just remove it. We really just need the main chunk of comb here. Oh, it's coming right off. Uh-oh. Sorry, bees. Trying to be as gentle as possible. Put it into the rubber bands. Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Uh-oh. I wish I had bigger rubber bands. Note to self, bigger rubber bands. Okay, I got some of it in. All the rubber bands clumped together down here at the bottom. Maybe I can get a rubber band off of this. Oh. Bingo, baby. Oh shoot, sorry bees. All right. You know what? I'll take it. Hey, not too shabby. And they will finish building all of this into frame and it's going to be perfect when they're done with it. That's actually looking very healthy. There's more bees in here than last time we checked, so there may be a queen. I'm looking for larvae, some eggs maybe. Excuse me, bees. I'm not seeing any larvae, but I am seeing baby bees, but I don't know if those are from before or if they're new, but it does look very hopeful in there. I'm gonna try to calm the bees down a bit with some more smoke. All right, these are the bees that were left on that. We will drop them back in. Now this is where I believe the queen is. I'm almost positive I saw the queen earlier. And then I think she went under all of this. She's down there somewhere between my frame and the comb. I don't know if she got picked up on camera, but she was a big, big queen. And look, there's a queen cell right there that looked like it hatched. So there's gotta be a queen in here. The bees are being so chill with me today. It's very nice.
Every time I take a frame out now, I make sure to clean it as good as I can. A little at a time turns into a lot over time. Ooh, is that a saying already? Because if it's not, that should be a saying. A little, wait, what is it again? A little over time becomes a little every time becomes a lot over time. Is that right? So the problem with that comb being on this is I can't push it closed or I'll squish that whole comb. But since the queen is on it, I don't want to mess with it, so I'm just going to leave it. This should encourage them to start building. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit all 5 in there though. Oh wait, there we go. That's 5 right there. That actually looks perfect. I think it's good. It's looking healthy. Pretty sure there's a queen in there. You guys, successful mission. I'm so stoked. Good night, sleep tight, my little bed bugs. Oh, wait, we do not want them building on the top. Excuse me, Bee, I'm gonna need you to move. You are in the way. Can you please go inside? Thank you. Gotcha. So far, our split has been a success. It looks like a bee full of pollen just flew into it. So we know bees are going out collecting pollen and bringing it back to this hive. Yes, it worked. You see how these bees right here, they have their butt in the air and they're blowing their wings facing outwards. So what they're doing is they're blowing air out of the hive because there's a queen in there and they're blowing her pheromones out into the air to let all these other bees know that fell out of the hive while I was messing with it that this is where the queen is, come back home. And these bees smell those pheromones. Them bees smell them damn pheromones and they're like, yeah boy. So they go back into the hive. So it's a very good sign when you see the bees doing this. There's a whole bunch of them doing it. Look, this one's carrying out a dead bee and he'll probably drop it. Yep, right there. So, you know, sometimes you kill a few bees when you're messing with the hive, but they'll clean it up. They'll take out the dead bees, drop them, clean up the hive, and it's all good. It's gravy. Speaking of gravy, I'm gonna cook you up in some gravy if you don't lay me an egg soon. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you too. Good morning. It's the next day. Got my coffee. How are my bees? Oh no. Oh. I see all the bees trying to get back into, what? I thought I covered that. What have my bees done? By the way, this is my little compost bin that I keep in my kitchen, and every time I have like banana peels, strawberry cuttings, eggshells, coffee grinds, basically any organics that I'm not gonna eat, I'll fill up this bucket and then I will bring it down here and I will dump it into my composter. But I'm gonna do that in a second. Let's find out what the heck happened. So I moved my beehive to here. Oh my God. How did they get through that? See, I put a netting on the entrance and the goal was I was going to keep them inside of this hive for 1 or 2 days. I gave them some extra food and water, and that way they would stay in that hive and not leave for a couple of days, which would give them time to reorientate. But it seems like somehow they got through it, and I can't actually tell how they got through it. There's bees trying to get in there with pollen on their feet. Okay, so I gotta take this off. We gotta let the bees get back into their home. Oh, there's so many bees around me. They're everywhere. I'm not wearing any protection. Hopefully they don't try to murder me. Be free, my bees. Be free. Oh! I just had like 10 bees fly right into my face. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. How did they get through this? I am very confused how the bees got through this netting. And this is what I was trying to prevent from happening. So all these bees right here, thousands of bees, are all hovering right here where their old hive used to be, and they're confused. They're coming back, they're going out, they're foraging, coming back with pollen and honey and or nectar. And then they come here and they're like, wait, where's our beehive? And they're confused and they just hover around, completely confused. Damn it, just what I was trying to prevent. All right, come on out, ladies, come on out. 1 chicken, 2 chickens. Where's the 3rd chicken? Good morning. Isn't it a little too late in the day to still be in the house? What, do you sleep in late? Did you guys lay me an egg? Perhaps we have an egg. Okay, Easter eggs, ping pong balls. Well, no eggs. I was all excited this morning to show you guys my professional work of transporting the beehive and keeping them enclosed, but that all went completely down the hill for me. I am hopeful though. The hive looks like it's alive and it's thriving, and I see bees bringing pollen back in. So clearly there's enough bees that were able to reorientate themselves, and they should be able to be completely fine. Bees are going in and out of there. Bees are going in and out of there. In and out of there. Yes. We officially have 3 hives that are now where I want them to be. And now I can start working on fun things like splitting them, making more hives, and turning this area into my citrus oasis. My papaya tree is growing like crazy. I think last week it was like up to here. Now it's up to here, and it's got a bunch of new leaves. They're huge. Things are growing vigorously out here. And did my chicken just pass out? Hey, you okay? Are you taking a nap or did you black out? The heck? You okay, girl? I think she was just napping. So I have this tumbler here, and it seems counterintuitive to have a compost pit and a tumbler. Usually you have one or the other, but I found something that I like to do. So if I was to just pour all of this stuff on the ground, then raccoons and other creatures might come to eat it. But if I put it in there first, let it sit in there for a week or 2, and then I dump it out, it's a little more decomposted. Although I do want the chickens to eat these strawberry tops. See, I had strawberries last night for dessert. Go get your strawberries, girl. Go get your strawberries. Oh my God, I ate the strawberry. Okay, they like strawberries. Good to know. All right, the rest of it I will put in here. Oops. My chicken fell over again. Is my chicken doing okay? Hey, lady. Oh. Oh. So you keep passing out, but you can run? Come back here. They're on edge now. I just want to pick you up. Come back here, you little chickies. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. How do you grab a chicken? It's like I almost have to corner them. All right, now I'm determined to catch a chicken. I probably should have put some treats down so they wouldn't have seen it coming. You gotta be kind of fast. Listen, I'm not giving up till I catch one of you guys, so you might as well just let me catch you. Oh, I almost had it. I got close. Oh, you can't go in the coop. That's cheating. You can't go in there. All right, good. All right, I'll let you guys have a drink. I'll take a drink too. Got some nice coffee in my Boat Daddy mug. If you're looking for fun events and activities on the water, download the Boat Daddy app. It's in Apple and Google stores. And we just added group chats and some really awesome features. But it is an awesome community of people with boats and people trying to get on boats and people trying to just get on the water and make new friends and do cool adventures. I'm currently on the app looking for people that kite surf. So if you kite surf, get on BoatDaddy and set your location to Key Largo. Find me, shoot me a message. I'm trying to get some people together to do some kite surfing down at the sandbars. But first, we have to catch a chicken. Do you have to be like very fast? Is that the best way to get a chicken? Oh! Oh. All right, ladies, you win today. If you got some chicken grabbing tips, leave them in the comments below. But I'm throwing in the white flag for now. I'm gonna remove that feeder and the rest of the duct tape off of this beehive. Oh, there's so many bees. Oh my God. It's been about 4 or 5 days since we planted these catnip seeds. This is the organic seeds right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe like 5 seeds just starting to sprout. Nothing really is going on. This one, there's 1 seed there, 2. I think we're gonna have to wait till the next episode to find out which one of these is really sprouting. Or really, it might take a few weeks to really get them pumping. I'm gonna get the chickens some fresh basil this morning. Good morning, ladies. I got you some fresh veggies for breakfast. We got some dill, some parsley, and some basil. I have a roll of tape and a Sharpie. And we're gonna end this episode with a little update with the bees here. So I was just standing here thinking, my brain was working, and this is the original beehive that I had, the Florida Keys Sweetheart Queen. And this hive swarmed, and I caught that swarm and I put it in this beehive. So I've always been calling this my second beehive, but I just realized something. When a colony gets big and they swarm, they leave with the original queen, which means that's actually the original queen. This is a new queen made by that original queen. And then this queen was made kind of from a combination of these two. I think it came from this one, but I also put in some brood and stuff from this hive. So this is gonna be the A1, because this is the original. This is the OG queen right here. Or it should be the OG queen. This is her offspring. And then this is that offspring. They should all have exactly the same genetics. And that is probably why they're all so peaceful. See, I'm standing here, I'm not wearing anything, and I am surrounded by bees, and they're being quite docile. So I will actually go put a little piece of tape on here. This will be A2. And this is the A1, the OG queen, the original A1. I'm gonna write the OG Florida Keys Sweetheart. It's about time I started labeling my hives. And this is the A3. In the next episode, we will be opening this back up, and we're gonna see how nicely they have formed those combs that we made. And hopefully we'll be putting this one into a bigger hive, into its final hive. Take it out of the nuke box and put it into one of these boxes. Or actually, I think I might be putting it into the plastic hive. Yes, we're gonna set up the plastic beehive in the next episode. I cannot wait to see how the plastic hive is gonna compare to these wooden ones. But man, the bees are looking very healthy. Super healthy, super healthy. These just look better every day. There's bees going in and out, so it all looks good. That bee just brought in some pollen. Very nice. And this area over here is looking nice. We're about to do some big upgrades to this. Can't wait. And our trees are doing very well. Our oranges, there's almost too many oranges growing on here. There's like 20 oranges just right there on the tip. I'll probably end up pulling some of them off because that might just be too many oranges. I'm not sure if this branch is going to be able to support that. And you see how these leaves are a little yellow? We can tell that this tree definitely had some nitrogen deficiencies, but ever since I put them in the new pots, they're definitely growing nicely, and you could see the new growth. These are new leaves coming out, and they are a beautiful green color.
a dark green, luscious color. So we know now plant is happy again. And these older leaves are gonna probably just eventually fall off, and they will be replaced by these new, beautiful green leaves, healthy. House to homestead episode. We are slowly every week getting closer and closer to being more of a homestead, growing our own food, catching our own food, doing all that good stuff, and turning this whole property into something magical. So I hope you guys continue on this journey with me to see where things go. And I hope you guys are subscribed. And if you enjoy fishing videos, I have some crazy episodes in the works. I just did a servicing on my engine, so she is hot and ready to go for more adventures. We'll be putting her back in the water shortly, and it's game time, baby. Catch you on the next one. Cheers. Peace. I took all the peppers I was growing out there, and now I'm fermenting them, and we're making a fermented hot sauce. I'll be posting a full video how I make this stuff, but it's still got about a week or two to go. So I'll put that back up in here, let that ferment for another week. I've had a very busy week, so I haven't got around to much. Got some ground cherries, which are supposed to grow very well in Florida and be delicious. And these things called guacamelons, those are supposed to be delicious too. Speaking of delicious things, I'm gonna cut off some leaves for our chickens. Give them some basil leaves. And my chickens' very favorite are the chives. I don't know why, but they go absolutely clucking insane for the chives. Got a little cup of chives for them, got some basil in there, and I decided, you know what, I'll treat them to some strawberries too this morning. They like the strawberries. I usually give them some dill and some parsley too, but my cup's full. I'll grab one. We had some wind last night, so that got knocked over. And I'm about to do some renovations, I guess you could call it, but I'm gonna move my citrus plants downstairs. Up here on the balcony, it's super windy, and these tall plants, it's just a little crazy. But look how fat and juicy our limes have become. They're taking real shape. And our lemons, we have some beautiful flowers on the lemon tree. Whoo, those smell good. We got some babies right there. And the pineapple, a freaking real pineapple. I cut the head off of a pineapple I bought at the grocery store at Publix, and I planted it in the ground like 2 years ago, and it's finally growing a pineapple. I think we can expect a pineapple at least once a year now. The Range Rover. Trust me, I want to move this Range Rover as bad as you guys want it out of here. I put a brand new battery in it, which cost me like 300 bucks. I thought that would fix the problem, but then it just clicks when I try to start it. So the starter is bad. And the problem is the starter is so hard to get to. I don't even know what to do at this point. Oh, isn't that lovely? Elliot just taking just pooping in the plants. Great. Good morning, ladies. Can I interest you in some shrubs? Guess what I got for you? I got fresh strawberries. I mixed a whole bunch of soil yesterday. That was some serious labor. We want to keep this soil nice and wet because it's supposed to become living soil. We want it to come alive. And this is where we're going to plant all of our flowers in for the bees. So we're going to have big old flower pots. I've been feeding my chickens water in a water bowl, which is not very optimal. And it's kind of a lot of work because I have to put new water in it basically every morning for them. The reason I give them the water bowl is because I was using this as their water source. And these orange things are called chicken nipples. And basically when the chicken pushes down on it, it opens it up and water comes out. And this whole thing would be full of water. But the problem is they were pushing on it and very little water was coming out, just like a few drops of water. And they would sit here working real hard to get some water. And they would be walking around panting, and they were showing every sign of dehydration. And I could just tell they were not getting enough water. So I started putting the bowl out, and they would literally chug the water out of the water bowl. So then I thought, man, they're just not getting enough water out of these chicken nipples. So I'm going to convert this thing into some kind of water feeder. And I have some ideas. Hey, buddy, check out the gardenia. I just picked this one up yesterday. It is blooming and it smells insane. All of these are about to blossom. Something about the smell of gardenias just makes me feel like I'm biking through my old neighborhood growing up. Lots of good smells back in the day. So here's my idea. I drilled a hole right here and I took one of these chicken nipples that I had and I ripped the metal part out of it. See, this is what the chicken nipple looks like. And I just ripped that piece of metal out. I grabbed it with a pair of pliers, ripped it out, and then it was hollow. And it was just the perfect size to put in some of this tubing that I use for my fish tank for the air pumps. So I just stuck the tubing in there, and then I put on some silicone to make it super airtight. And I'm gonna put that in here like this. And this hose is going to go into a bowl. And the idea is that the water will go out through the tube into my bowl of water and keep it full. An automated feeding watering system. So we're gonna try and build this today. Is it gonna work? I don't know, but I hope so. And there's one other thing we're gonna do today. Boop. Gotcha. The bees, baby. Oh, pelicans. I love pelicans. But we're gonna mess with the bees today. We're gonna put our nuke into a big beehive and we're gonna build a couple of new bases for our new beehives. Oh, all the bees look very healthy this morning. Oh, once again, I'm wearing all black. They always say that black is not the best color to wear around bees, but I'm always all black everything, so maybe I wasn't meant to be a beekeeper. Here's a couple of new cinder blocks and a couple of new square tops we're gonna use for the bees. So let's get to it. But my buddy Bruce just called me up and asked me if I wanna go shoot some lead down at the gun range. So we're gonna go shoot some guns first, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. This aquarium here, I put it here and I've been trying to think what to do with it, and then it rained yesterday and now it's full of water. It weighs like 1,000 pounds. So I gotta take the water out of that. But what should I do with this aquarium? Any ideas? Leave them in the comments. You, the whole team's here. Got them all. You want to give me a beep? I haven't drawn in a while.
Shooter ready, stand by! Nice. 574, sir. 574.
All right, all right, all right.
Okay, 198, so holster it again.
Oh, that was slow. What was that?
206.
Okay, yeah, 206.
You want to get like 130. That was a good one. 167.
167, all right. Oh,
That was
it felt slow.
you did a
Yeah.
That was a 2. That was a 2.
Yeah.
All right, shooter ready.
Oh, I missed.
Okay, go back. That was faster draw.
That was my first miss.
There you go. 164 exactly again.
Okay. Ah, fuck.
169.
Yeah.
Are you hovering or are you aiming?
Pulling it out of my holster is where I'm struggling the most.
You were there. You got it out of your. You got it out faster.
All right, one more time.
Shooter ready. Stand by. Well, you're on.
Shooter ready. Stand by. $139.
All right. Good start.
Very nice. All right. Shooter ready. Stand by.
focus that one.
136 again.
You wanna come?
Shooter ready? Stand by. 136. Damn, all your shots are like exactly identical. Ooh, a little slower. 153.
Yeah. All right.
146. Moving our way up now to some rifles.
Nailed it. That one got it. Nice shot.
Okay, okay. Oh, this gun feels so good. Ah, this is a sexy gun.
They go exactly where you point, man.
Yeah.
Great thing about that gun.
You point, it goes.
You got another one in there?
Nope.
All right, you're good.
Pew, pew, pew. All right, we're back from the range. It's always good to get a little practice in. Make sure your draws are good. Lord knows if you ever need to draw on someone, you better know how to do it. And this is our water feeder, and I just tested it out and it did not work. So we have our hose going in there, and there's water in here. So what's supposed to happen is, as water pulls out of there through the hose, it creates a suction, and it should stop this from letting water out. But I don't think that this is completely airtight, because I'll tighten it as tight as I can make it, and then watch. We'll put that down, see the water comes out. And in theory, what should happen is, as this fills up with water, the suction in there tenses up, causing the water to not come out anymore, right? That's how this design is supposed to work. But it doesn't, it just keeps coming out and coming out. So maybe one of these chicken nipples are not airtight, or maybe this isn't airtight. For some reason, it's pulling air in and it's not working. So sorry, chickens, we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. And one of the chickens is not feeling well at all. She is barely moving. She's not eating, she's not drinking. Even though food and water is right there, she's walked past it like 10 times and she does not look well. Hey. Hey. She's sleeping right now, which is not normal for her to do that. She just doesn't move at all. I mean, I could just pick her up right now, but I'm not going to. I don't want to stress her out. Hey, lady. Oh. Hey, that's the fastest I've seen her move all day. Hopefully she's gonna feel better soon. I'm not sure what's going on with her. These two are doing just fine. They're running around having a blast, but she's not. So I pulled my engine out because I put a new starter on it, hooked it up, was so excited to hear her fire up, and then I get a ground fault error. So, don't even get me started on that. So I was thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a new Yamaha. We're just gonna slap a Yamaha on this boat. That way I can keep fishing it for a little bit till I get a new boat. And when I do go to sell it, the new owner is gonna have a nice brand new engine that's gonna work. But how do I put a new Yamaha on it if I can't bring it to a dealership? I can't pull it under the house because the boat is way too tall. It will not fit that way. And I can't bring it to a marina because I don't have an engine, so I can't drive it anywhere. I'm trying not to lose it. And just like the Range Rover, it had a dead battery, so I put a $300 battery in it, and then the starter doesn't work. Oh, what the I'm this close to having a mental breakdown, but I will persevere for you guys. We're gonna accomplish at least one thing today. We got the nuke, and I want to move these bees into the plastic beehive. Got my bee suit, and it just started raining. Oh, it just started raining. I got the bee suit on, got the smoker, and check it out. I built a frame that I'm gonna put the beehive on, and you gotta make sure that they're sturdy. And the best way to check is to climb on top of it and bounce like you've never bounced before. Okay. If that can hold me, that better be able to hold a little beehive. All right. So we'll give them a little bit of smoking, and the smoke will calm the bees down. All right, they probably don't need much smoke. I'll just leave that right there. We'll go ahead and put our new beehive. It's got a lot of parts. Now, if we remove the lid, this inside piece, you can actually put food in here for the bees, but we're not gonna do that. I don't really feed my bees. I'm not gonna put any food in there, but that is cool that it comes like that built in. These are our bee frame separators, and then these are our bee frames. But I will take out 5 of them because I think we're gonna put 5 of them back in there. It just started raining. The joys, boys, the joys. Now let's open her on up and see what we got going on in there. Woohoo! Remember we had the crazy comb in there and we rubber banded them into the frame? I can't wait to see how those turned out. Let's see if the bees took those rubber bands and fixed their comb. Oh, it looks like they have completely abandoned it. Yep, they abandoned that piece of comb. Okay, well, we're not gonna put that into the new frame. Oh, it's a little unfortunate. What about the other piece? Ooh. Well, they did glue the frame. See up here, they glued it there, and there, and here. So they did glue the frame back. That's kind of a good sign. We will put that in here. This one they have not touched. Ooh, what's going on here? They're on the frame, but doesn't look like they have started building on it. I think they're measuring it out. Now this frame is what we're looking for. They're starting to build out the back of it. That's a very good sign. And the front of it, there's bee bread, there's royal jelly. There is 100% a queen in here. I can see little larvae in there. All right, so there is a queen laying eggs. Okay, I'm gonna try to hurry up because it's starting to rain and I don't want my bees to get too wet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's our 10 frames. All these bees I will shake back in there. Hi. The frame separators, no, we don't need those. We will put this on top. Shazam. Lock it up. And that's it. We just moved our nuke into their main beehive. And once they fill this bottom beehive out and all those frames have comb on it, I will be adding a second one and then a third one where they could put their honey in. But overall, success. Now, I gotta get all this stuff in before it rains a little too much. I don't even think I needed to wear the bee suit for that. The bees have been extremely calm and relaxed. All right, I grabbed my chicken. This is the one that's not doing so hot. I was just reading online that if they're trying to pass an egg and it gets stuck, that could make them not feel good. But as a first-time chicken owner that's never had one of my chickens lay an egg, I don't really know what I'm looking for or what I'm feeling for. Feels like a normal chicken. I don't know if rubbing the chicken helps. I guess I need to check the chicken, make sure it's... Like, I don't know what I'm looking for. How do you know if a chicken is sick? She just went to sleep. That's not really a good sign. Well, after holding that chicken for a little bit, she's walking around a little bit better than before. I don't know. Maybe she had some indigestion. But y'all want some serious comedy gold? I got some for you right now.
So I could not figure out why the engine was not turning on. I was getting a ground error, which meant there was no ground. So I thought, oh, maybe my ground cable is corroded. So I cut it off. And so I could directly test it, and I figured if it's corroded, I was going to cut some of it off to fix it. Well, I did that, and I was getting the same error. So then I was like, damn it, I don't know what's wrong with this engine. I give up. And then I was looking at the starter, which I just replaced, and I never put the ground cable back on the starter when I put the the starter back. So I just cut all my lines for absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna kick some rocks because that's about all I got for today. I put the ground back on, and since I cut the lines like an idiot, I have the engine currently hooked up to this battery. Let's see if it works. All right, here we go. Whoo! Wow! Fires up. Yes. And yes, I do have it hooked up on water. Oh, you gotta love it, boys. There's something I don't like about this plastic beehive, and that is these feet. Unless it's on a really big surface, it's not gonna sit flat, and it kind of hangs over the front and it hangs over on the back. So I'm worried if there's a lot of wind, this whole thing might fall over. See, these wooden ones, they sit flat. So they're very stable. I'm gonna have to give that some thought. So these soil pots that I made, I have two types of flowers. These are the wildflower honeybee flower mix, and this is the wildflower fragrant mix. So I wrote fragrant and bees. Let's see. Fragrant, and bees. Hopefully we have some beautiful flower pots coming up soon. This is supposed to be a whole blend of flowers that I'm guessing are fragrant. You can tell there's a lot of different types of seeds in there. And I'll just spread them around in here. And now for our honeybee flower mix. I'm guessing these are flowers that are good for making honey. I am not really sure. And I think I'm putting too many seeds in here. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. I think I've completely gone crazy. Since we live in Florida, that bright sun up there always dries out the top layer of soil extremely fast. So if you're trying to plant new seedlings, they're just gonna dry up. Remember the catnip that we planted? That happened to me. So I'm replanting the catnip. So I will update you on the catnip once it's growing, but we need some mulch. And luckily I have a whole bunch of mulch. Just add a nice little layer of mulch on there. Those are some good looking pots, and hopefully we'll have some good looking flowers soon. The papaya tree is blowing up. It's massive. At least that thing's growing. The strawberry or the banana trees are like, they weren't really doing that great, but I think they're coming back to life. I think they might have gone into shock. And then these are all the cuttings of the sea grape tree that I made. And I'm hoping that they start to root soon. All the leaves turn brown, which was kind of expected. And I'm just hoping that they're gonna grow some roots and turn into their own little trees. My citrus trees, though, are growing some amazing fruits, but they do look a little bit like they're struggling. This tree looks like it's either underwatered or overwatered, but I measured the soil and it was sitting at a 50%. So it's definitely not underwatered, maybe overwatered. It really shouldn't be though, but I will be putting some mulch in these citrus plants too to help them retain their moisture. You want this soil to stay nice and alive. And one of the best things to do is to take something like these seeds or just some kind of cover crop, because the little plants keep your soil thriving and they keep the bacteria alive in there. And what I mean by that is check out my citrus plants here up on the balcony.
And you can see I have all these plants growing inside of the pot. See, there's the mulch down there. And it seems like when I have little shrubberies and things growing, the actual plant is much healthier because there's more of like an ecosystem down there. And I actually just realized this. This right here is a jalapeno plant. And look, it's actually growing jalapenos. I did not realize that, which is pretty funny. But that means, oh wow, that's a big jalapeno down here. Holy moly, check out that bad boy. That does mean though that this plant growing these jalapenos is taking nutrients away from my lemon tree, which isn't exactly a good thing, but I'll just top it off with some more nutrients. I'll be adding the compost. Our little compost farm that we built 2 episodes ago down there, lots and lots of compost. I'll just grab like a half a bucket full of compost and I'll just top off this plant and this plant. And whenever a plant starts to look hungry, I just add a little extra compost and bam, that's food. All my kitchen scraps go in the compost, the chicken poop, everything organic around here goes in the compost, it breaks down, and then it feeds our plants to once again bring us some lemons and limes. But that's it. We got a stormy day. Ooh, I might do some fishing soon. Maybe a fishing in a storm episode, much needed. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Cheers. We're starting this week strong. We got spring and summer coming, which means we're gonna be doing some spear fishing and some fishing. We're gonna go so hard, but to do that, we need to bring some organization down here to the man cave. We gotta get all this cleaned up so I can focus on fishing. If you're anything like me, when there is stuff laying around everywhere, I can't focus. It drives me nuts. I feel nuts right now. And I have to do some nutty things before things get clean around here, like finish building these beehives. These are completely in the way. This box right here contains an entire beehive. This is the Vivor triple stack. It's got 2 brood boxes and then 1 super, and I have to build this whole thing. This is my least favorite part about having bees, is building the beehive. All these pieces of wood in here, these are the frames. Okay, so I have to nail all these pieces together, put the inserts in them so we can make our frames. And we have to put the boxes together. This is the base of the beehive. Those are the pieces of wood for the frames. And then all the boxes and everything. There's more frame. This is all for frames. That's all for frames. There's the inserts. Here's the wooden boxes. How long do y'all think this is gonna take me to build this one beehive? We're gonna find out right now. So I'm gonna just get busy, get to building, and I'll let you guys know how long it takes. Let's see. It is currently 4:27. Let's just say 4:30, and I'll let you know when I'm done. Whew, it's been almost 10 minutes already. And I haven't even got the first little box together. See, the problem here is it's not lining up properly, and I gotta hammer it pretty good. I'm gonna have to hammer this back in. So first we hammer it tight. I mean, it's pretty tight now. And then we take our nails and then we nail it together. It's a process. Update. Yes, I decided to read the manual, and it turns out you do not need to put screws in there. And also, when hammering down these edges, you want to use like a 2x4 or something and put it down and then hammer it, because it'll evenly push it down. That way you don't accidentally break any of these. Maybe I should start reading the manual, but look how exciting this is. This is a little surprise. We have a viewing glass in our bee box. So you can take this off and there's some glass there. And that way we can check on our bees whenever we want without actually opening the hive. How fun is that gonna be? Woohoo! So the first box is done. Just need to make the frames for it still, but 2 more boxes to go. What time is it? It's already 4:50. Oh my. Okay. Let's get to it. It's time to show you what a beehive looks like. It is 6:15, so we started 4:30. An hour and 45 minutes from start to finish. I've built, I think this is my 4th or 5th beehive now, so if it's your first time building a beehive, it might take you 2 hours. So this is the bottom of the beehive. That is the base of the beehive. Then you got a brood box, which is a big ol' 10 frame box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we got 10 frames in here. They have a little bit of a beeswax on them already. And we have our little viewing window, which I'm stoked for. Oh, we're gonna be able to watch the bees. Buzz, buzz. All right. In the past, I've always used just one brood box, but one of y'all in the comments told me I should try using 2 brood boxes. So here is a second brood box. And a brood box is a box where the queen can lay her eggs in, and the bees will, they'll basically put the larvae in there and the bee bread and some honey, and they will keep that all in here. And we have another viewing window. Surprise, bee! Imagine they're just chilling and then I open that up and they see my face. Whew, that'd be a rough way to start the day. 2 brood boxes, and now we're gonna put on the queen excluder. Yes, this is why I need to clean up. I can never find anything, but we're getting to it. So the queen excluder prevents the queen from going any higher than these 2 boxes. She can't fit her big badonkadonk through this screen, but all the other bees can. So you lay that down, you put it right there. And then we're gonna put on our super. This guy. It's a little bit smaller of a box. It's not as big. In theory, if you wanted to, you could put the queen excluder here. Because the queen can't get up here in the top, she won't lay any eggs in here. So all the bees will only put honey in here. So when you go to harvest, you can just take these out and just get honey off of them. And the reason they're smaller is because it's a little bit easier to work with these smaller ones than these big ones. It's pretty hard to extract honey out of a huge frame, although the bigger, the more honey. So part of me wants to put the queen excluder here and have this whole box honey, this whole box honey. But no, I'm not gonna do that because you guys told me not to. You guys want me to do it like the classic way of 2 brood boxes and super on top. I can always add another super on top of this one. And I think this is good. This is gonna be a good setup. Now, on top of that, we put our cap. And our cap basically prevents the bees from sticking this thing to the top. And that goes on top of the helmet or the roof or whatever you want to call it. And that is our brand new beehive. This one is, yeah, the Vivor brand. Never used this brand before, but they make a lot of stuff. They make everything. They make boat engines, wood chippers, beehives, chest freezers. Companies like this kind of blow my mind because they make everything across a massive spectrum. I don't understand it, but that's how it be. Bumblebee. So yes, and every stage of this has a viewing glass so we can watch. Oh, is this gonna come off with the roof on top? Let's see. Oh, nice, it still comes off. Whoo! Do y'all wanna see where I'm gonna put her? Whoo! This way. Oh, y'all probably wondering how my chicken's feeling. Look, the other chickens are taking care of her. They're staying by her side, and this morning she was drinking water and eating food, and she's looking a lot better. So my chicken's doing better. In the last episode, she wasn't doing so hot. And if you're new to the House to Homestead video series, once a week I put out an episode where I give you guys an update on all the things I'm doing here in the backyard. And we do have a couple of fun things planned, like my brand new gardenia, which I put up here for the bees to enjoy. This is probably the best smelling plant in the world. I paid, how much did I pay? $24.98. This is the gardenia sweet tea. Came in a 2-gallon. Hello, ladies. Y'all come trying to bum rush me? It says plant me, bro. The gardenia jasminoides. Trademarked as the sweet tea, so that's kind of funny they trademark it like that, but I think I'm gonna put that beehive right here. I'm gonna build a nice little block for it right here, and we'll put that beehive right here, but we will keep this nuke here for now. I'm hoping to split this beehive
soon and create a new hive. We'll put it in the nuke, and then we're going to put it in that brand new Vivore beehive we just built. And in the last episode, this is the plastic beehive that we put together, and the bees are loving it. They are coming in and out. They're working hard. This is the first plastic beehive I've ever owned, and the bees are like coming out of these holes. It's kind of funny how they do this, but everything is looking healthy and thriving. My chicken just tried to eat my gardenia. Look at the... I've decided I am naming the white chicken Bunny. So that's Bunny now. And she was just hopping up, eating my flower. The little rat. And she was just like bouncing around. It was really funny. I didn't get it on video, but she just earned herself the name Bunny. Yeah, you're a bunny. How does that make you feel? Houston, we got a problem. We got the chickens in front of the chicken coop. And look what flew into the coop, and the chickens are kind of chasing it around. That right there is a blue jay, maybe? What kind of bird is that? Hey, buddy. Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Oh, there he goes. He flew out. You should have seen it. Earlier, he was going nuts, and the white chicken, Bunny, she was chasing him around. It was crazy. These some crazy chickens. I just got done doing a little bit of bridge fishing. I took the e-bike out to the bridges here, did some fishing. That's going to be a fishing video, so if you want to check that out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But on the way home from fishing, I went and got me some, what is this? Just Naturals organic garden soil. I got 6 bags of that, and I got these things called Laropes, I think, Larope, and y'all gotta help me figure this out. When I was a kid, we had plants similar to this, and you can pull one out, like you can pull these strings out. These don't pull out that easy, but okay, so you would pull one out, right? And they were maybe 2 to 3 feet long. This is only about a foot long. But they were way longer than this, and we would use them as whips, and we would whip each other with them. And it actually kind of hurt, but it was so much fun. And I can't figure out if this is the same plant or not. Larope. It seems like it's a similar plant, but maybe a different species. I'm trying to find the right ones, but if you know the name of the ones I'm thinking of, let me know. But they kind of look just like these. They're just bigger. Unless these are it. And they just need to get bigger. I don't know. Yeehaw, baby. Look how humongous my papaya plant is getting. When we first started the House to Homestead series, it was only about this big. Now that root is like, or the stem is like that thick. It was like that thick when we bought it. And it fell over a few times, so I put these bricks here. And to get the chickens to stop digging holes. Yeah, because they're pretty reckless hole diggers. Oh, and there they go. Probably gonna eat the whole plant. But the soil I got is for the banana plants. I'll put a few bags of soil in here, and then I'll top it off with mulch, and then they should have plenty of juice to grow nice and big. They do look like they're making a recovery from the last episode where they weren't looking so good, but I think they just needed some time to adjust to their new home. They're starting to spruce up. My citrus plants are not doing so hot. All the leaves are curled in. I mean, the soil feels moist down there. What could the problem be? But I'm gonna add a couple inches of that soil that I just bought and then put some mulch on top of that. And we're gonna do that in each pot. Hopefully that'll juice them up and the mulch will help contain that moisture. The problem now is this soil that I put in here, without a mulch layer, it just kind of like dries into like a rock on the top. And I don't think the plant likes that. So we gotta mulch some things down. Okay, I am definitely not leaving these plants with you guys. I don't trust you. We're taking these. Put them up here for now. Don't, already going back for it. Scram. Hey, don't give me that attitude. I hear him over there gawking. Look at that butt as it walks away. Jeez. Fluffy little tushy. Check out my fermenting peppers. So all the peppers off of my pepper tree, I chopped up, diced up, and put in this salt water on 3/21/25. It's like almost 2 weeks now, which means my hot sauce is almost done. I'm putting out a full video on how I make the hot sauce and we'll see how it tastes. But come look at my pepper plants. It's been 2 weeks since I picked every single pepper off of it, and it's already loaded with fatties again. This happened in 2 weeks, just a full tree of fat jalapenos. These things grow like weeds. It's kind of crazy. They're looking delicious. I mean, damn, look at all them peppers. This tree's not looking too good, but I'm gonna be taking them out of these big black pots and we're gonna be doing something a little different. I got plans, as they say, but my plan right now is to eat some of these damn tomatoes. Check them out. Hey, give me that juice ball. We're gonna eat a couple tomatoes, get the day started right. Ooh, that's a good tomato. And my basil plant here, you see how it's flowering? It makes these flowers. I like to rip them off because when your basil plant goes into flowering, I think it makes the basil leaves taste kind of bitter. So I'm just constantly ripping off all the flower tops, and it seems to keep my basil soft and sweet versus if I just let it go and grow however it wants. And the chickens will actually eat this. The chickens love this. Yeah, we're gonna save this for the chickens. I brought y'all some fresh basil. Time to top off our bananas with this garden soil that we got. Boom! We added all of our soil, and now we'll put on our mulch. This is the mulch made from our palm trees that we cut down on the property. Cut those palm trees down, we mulched them up. Now we're gonna use that as a top layer, which will make sure that our soil does not dry out from this Florida sun. Woo! It's looking tropical out here. Can't wait to see how these guys turn out in the upcoming months. We're gonna do the same thing to our citrus plants. Kapow! Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Looking real good. Gonna give them a little bit of juice in. Hey, ladies. Life is good. Remember those bee flowers we planted? They're all starting to sprout up. These are the fragrant flowers and these are the honeybee flowers. They're starting to spruce. Better give them some water. At the beginning of this episode, I said I was going to clean up downstairs. Well, it's not completely done yet, but it's a huge step in the right direction. This is all the new PC Fun gear that I just got. We got lots and lots of reels, new fishing poles, the lightest reel and the lightest fishing pole, all made from carbon fiber. That's going to be a whole video in itself. But I finally got things tidied up down here. There's the Beehive chilling, and probably tomorrow I'm going to clean all this off and stuff. I was busy getting the engine ready, but the engine on the boat is running and ready to go. We're gonna do some serious fishing, and I'm gonna organize all of these backpacks depending on the type of fishing. So like this box right here, this is the nighttime sword fishing box. So everything in this box is everything you need to go nighttime sword fishing. And every type of fishing I'm gonna have in its own box and in its own tackle bag. So if I wanna go trolling, I know grab this bag. If I want to go daytime sword fishing, I know to grab this bag. If I want to go patch reef fishing, I know to grab that bag. We're getting dialed in, boys and girls, getting dialed in. But thank you so much for watching this house to homestead episode. Let's make sure the chickens are in their coop, and then we're gonna call it a good night. Lady, get your little tushy in there. All right, all right. Till the morning. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Good night and peace. Get back in there. Don't be coming out now. She thinks I have treats. Yeah, get in there, girl. Lay me an egg, please.